Manitoba. It is Thursday, June 26th. You're watching CTV Morning Live. Thank you so much for being with us. Ainsley McPhail took a ride out to Steinbach to visit the Mennonite Heritage Village. They have this gorgeous and huge windmill in the town of Steinbach. So we're going to find out a little bit more about the museum itself. It has brand new artifacts there. We're going to sort of take a peek and get a tour of the place. But first, your headlines. They've lived with grief and now questions about what comes next. Carberry residents react to a provincial proposal meant to make a deadly intersection safer. Thousands of Flin Flon residents are returning after wildfires forced them to evacuate. We'll show you the emotional homecoming and how the city is helping them heal. And the latest gardening trend is sprouting online, and all you need is a screen and some serious clicking skills. Bringing in Catherine now. Speaking of my garden, I didn't even have to water yesterday. A little bit of rain came.
You got a little sprinkling?
Yes, it was perfect. That's all you need.
I got one thing right yesterday. Yes. Yes, speaking of rainfall, Rochelle, there could be some rain in store for other parts of the province, not us here in Winnipeg. Let's talk about the currents, shall we? 18 degrees. We've got some decently clear skies to kick us off. Winds out of the south at 11 clicks. Pressure is falling. The humidity sits at 69%. So yes, lots of sunshine on the way for us, as evidenced by our radar. The good news also on the radar, you can start to see the system pushing in from the west. That's bringing a possibility of some rainfall. Sadly, some thunderstorms though to the north. We want the rain. We don't want that instability that could be hampering the firefight in the north. So as the futurecast shows us, that storm will start to, I shouldn't use the word storm, that disturbance will start to trickle in first to the northwest, about a 30% shot of some showers into the afternoon. Likely though, it will materialize overnight and fan out through the north, as you can see that very colorful system bringing the possibility of thunderstorms as well. For us here in the south, we start off Friday decently clear, a slight chance of some rainfall in that very southwesterly corner, but plenty more sunshine on the way for us in southern Manitoba, and plenty more rainfall on the way on Friday for the north, where it is direly needed. Into the weekend, we do also have a chance of a little bit of rainfall on the way. First, let's talk about today, though, with our temperatures. 25 degrees, that's bang on to what's normal for this time of year. Same goes for tomorrow, but we get very hot into Saturday, and then the rainfall is possible on Sunday.
Thanks, Catherine. A month of disruption and uncertainty for thousands of Flin Flon residents is finally over. On Wednesday, after 4 weeks away from their community, everyone was welcome to return to their homes, which had been threatened by intense nearby wildfires.
It is amazing that we survived. When you look at that fire map and you see the little circle of Flin Flon and all of the fire and smoke around it, it truly is incredible. Who would have thought? We actually thought that we might not be coming home to our community.
Photos on social media are showing long lineups heading back into Flin Flon. Buses were also departing from hotels, taking more people back home that way. And when residents return, they won't be forced to handle everything on their own. Officials have set up a wellness center. It has food along with mental health services plus disaster and recovery assistance.
They were warned in advance to please try and bring a couple of weeks worth of food if you can. Now that doesn't work for the people who have been taken out on buses so well, so that's one of the reasons why the wellness center is there to help with some basic necessities.
The city's mayor says no Flin Flon homes or businesses were lost in the fire. It's still burning near the Saskatchewan border, but it is contained. And Flin Flon officials say residents who were unable to board a bus home yesterday can catch one this morning. An uproar in Carberry Wednesday night as provincial officials announced the preferred choice for safety changes at the intersection near Carberry, where a bus crash killed 17 people. An R-cut option, which uses U-turns and prevents direct crossings, was unveiled at an open house in Carberry. But as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you now, area residents on hand were furious about the plan and pushed for a different solution.
A meeting in Carberry was heated as residents overwhelmingly voiced opposition to the recommended option to improve safety at the intersection where a crash killed 17 people.
They don't want to spend money on rural lives, and they don't want to actually listen to any rural voices.
Potential upgrades at Highways 1 and 5 have been studied since the horrific bus crash near Carberry 2 years ago. Engineers hired by the province and Transportation Department officials presented the preferred plan at an open house in town. An R-cut would be constructed, which would not allow vehicles to cross the highway directly, but instead they would have to turn onto the highway and then use a U-turn lane. Department officials say This reduces T-bone collisions.
That makes the type of crash in the event that somebody makes a mistake much more survivable than at a traditional intersection.
But the dozens of area residents who filled this gymnasium pushed back on the plan over concerns the R-cut is confusing and could be hard to navigate for large trucks.
Is anyone here from the community actually for the R-cut?
No. I know you're saying it's safer. Right. None of them will agree that that's safer.
Instead, they brought a petition with 2,100 signatures calling for an overpass, also known as an interchange.
An overpass gets rid of all the human error. We want to make a case that this is the right thing to do now.
The province says an interchange was ruled out in part because it would cost $100 million, 5 times the price of the R-cut.
But it's also a treatment that's much more appropriate for traffic volumes that are much higher than what we see at this intersection.
The recommendation for the R-cut, the petition, and the feedback against it will now be considered at the political level before a decision is made. Jeff Keel, CTV News, Carberry.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is committing that Canada, along with other NATO allies, will invest 5% of GDP on defense by 2035, a pledge that will mean billions more in spending per year and the biggest increase since the Second World War. And the Prime Minister said Wednesday paying for that pledge will involve cuts in other areas.
If we are moving to the higher and higher levels of defense spending because that's necessary, then we will have to make considerations about what less the federal government can do in certain cases and how we're going to pay for it.
Carney says many of those decisions will be made towards the end of the decade when the global security situation may be clearer. The Conservatives say they will be watching closely.
Well, this is why we needed a budget. We need to know where this money's coming from. Canadians deserve to know the truth. Those that serve and the Canadian Armed Forces need to have the direction that budget provides in developing their departmental plans.
The Prime Minister chose not to issue a budget after being elected, but will present one in the fall instead. U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is scheduled to speak this morning about the American attack on Iran's nuclear program, something U.S. President Donald Trump says was a success.
I don't see them getting back involved in the nuclear business anymore. I think they've had it. They've been at it for 20 years, and I don't see that happening.
There's some debate around how much damage Iranian facilities actually sustained in those attacks last weekend. A leaked primary assessment from the Pentagon suggests core parts of Iran's nuclear program are still intact. The CIA director says key sites have been destroyed. He stopped short of saying their nuclear program has been completely eliminated. President Trump maintains the attacks, quote, obliterated Iran's nuclear facilities. The U.S. Senate will also get a classified briefing on the attacks later today. The hottest trend in gardening is happening on the computer. Grow a Garden has become one of the hottest games on Roblox. The premise of the game is simple: plant, harvest, and then sell your crop, all without having to go outside or touch any dirt. Its creators say it may not be a close simulation of actual gardening, but the game is a great example of how a simple idea can grow if the conditions are right, just like a plant. Here's a look now at what's going on outside in traffic on Kenaston and Sterling Line. Things are moving well to start off this morning. No issues to tell you about. If you do see problems out there, though, please let us know. Let's go now to Ainsley, who took a trip to Steinbach this morning. Good morning, Ainsley.
Rochelle, if I'm going to be waking up at 3 in the morning, I better be going to Steinbach, Manitoba.
Oh, yes.
That's my only prerequisite. It's the Mennonite Heritage Village. It's filled with information, tons of artifacts, over 17,000 of them, 30 different heritage buildings, whether they're a replica or original, and of course, the historic windmill from 1877. The only wind-powered one in Canada that is active, and from what I understand, they make some flour, which is pretty darn cool. Speaking of the artifacts, though, there's one to my immediate right, which is this dowry chest. I'm gonna tease this because when you open it up, that's where the real history is. There are different identifiers for how you know it is a Mennonite piece specifically, and they're gonna fill in the blanks for that. If you like romance, there's a very romantic story as well coming up in the 7 o'clock hour, and it's told through artifacts. How cool is that?
Very cool.
Live from Steinbach.
All right,
Rochelle.
Thank you, Ainsley. Well, it's pool time for the cutest couple on this farm. Check this out.
Doopy-doo, doopy-doopy-doo, doopy-doopy-doo, doopy-doopy-doopy-doo.
Marshmallow the duck has a huge crush on Waffles the Highland cow. She's trying to quack the big bovine up with her head bobs and kisses. He's moved by her love, and we think it's utterly adorable.
I think he's just tolerating her.
He's not even reacting. It's just
like,
whatever. What do you want?
Whatever works.
Yes. And how does it feel outside today? It's going to be a good day?
If you're wondering why I'm not on the rooftop, it's because my key card was not working, not because the conditions are not favorable. Look at that. It's nice and sunny to kick us off, and warm too at 18 degrees. Winds are out of the south-southeast at 15 kilometers per hour. Pressure is falling. Humidity at 83%. So much sunshine on the way for us here in southern Manitoba. Yesterday was a little bit overcast. We will start to see a little bit of cloud buildup later on, but not to the extent we saw yesterday. Meanwhile, this system pushing in from the west, bringing a good chance of some rainfall. Maybe not today to the north, but definitely overnight. It's looking like you're going to be getting some showers. That region, of course, we know sorely needs it. For us here today, we're getting up to a high of 25 degrees. That's bang on what's typical for this time of year. We start off clear, a couple of clouds joining us into the afternoon. Gustier winds than what we were seeing yesterday out of the south at 20 kilometers per hour. Overnight tonight, temperatures dipping down to 14, partly cloudy skies, winds persisting out of the south. Tomorrow is basically a carbon copy of today, but hotter. 27 degrees with those clear skies and some stronger winds shifting slightly out of the southeast. From there, a little bit of everything on tap for the weekend. Saturday, picture perfect with 28 and clear skies. Sunday, though, looking like a rainy one with a high of 25. Alrighty, we're going to take a break, but stay with us. So much more CTV Morning Live still to come.
CTV Morning Live Weather brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Good morning. Coming up to 6:15. We're learning more about the circumstances of a 911 outage earlier this year, during which a Fisher Branch man suffered a fatal heart attack and his family was unable to call for help. In its latest report to the CRTC, TELUS says multiple issues led to the 38-hour outage in March. TELUS says some of Bell's infrastructure failed that day, including its 911 network, which it leases. A technician was sent to investigate only minutes later. The company says that technician didn't alert higher-ups that the 911 system was compromised. 2 days later, TELUS became aware of the problem, and it, along with Bell, worked to bring the service back online. TELUS says approximately 177 911 calls from 59 callers didn't go through during that time. The telecoms company says it's since introduced a new call routing system, which will ensure 911 calls go through, even in the event Bell's network fails. Should that also fail, it says the calls will instead go to TELUS's own operators. TELUS says the technician who initially responded to the incident was reprimanded, and all its teams were reminded about a 911 outage procedures. Bell is the parent company of CTV News. A Manitoba senior has lost millions of dollars to a cryptocurrency scam. Experts say this type of fraud is on the rise, and now the Manitoba Securities Commission wants to ensure more Manitobans don't end up in the same boat. CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows us what to watch for.
A Manitoban just lost his entire life savings.
Unfortunately, this investor, he's a senior in Manitoba, and unfortunately lost his life savings of $2 million.
According to Tyler Ritchie from the Manitoba Securities Commission, scammers used artificial intelligence to create a realistic-looking website named Fargo Investor with opportunities to invest in cryptocurrency. The trouble was, the business wasn't real.
They're not registered in Manitoba to offer investments, to trade or advise in securities. So unfortunately, his money has been lost.
Ritchie said it's unclear where the company was actually located, but says many of these scammers target Canadians from out of country. He said these types of scams begin with a fake ad on social media with opportunities for an individual to invest promoted by people with name recognition.
Often celebrities are used, or well-known politicians, to get credibility to the investment scam.
Ritchie said there's motivation for scammers to use cryptocurrency based on its popularity amongst the public. It's a concerning trend for staff monitoring investment fraud at the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre. In cases similar to this one, the fraudster offers to coach the victim into investing more money into their fake online platform.
They start with a small amount, $203, $300 to begin with, and in a lot of cases they get that first return on their investment back to convince them that it's a legitimate investment.
This process can take months, but in the end, it's always the same.
When it comes time to withdraw their funds, they're not able to.
Horncastle says investment fraud has been a real concern across the country, and financial losses continue to grow.
Overall reported loss to investment fraud is over $1 billion since 2022.
And that's only based on 5 to 10% of victims reporting to the centre, according to Horncastle. Over 50% of those losses are tied specifically to crypto investment fraud. Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Winnipeg Police Service tells us crypto investment fraud has resulted in more financial losses than any other fraud category. Manitoba Security says they believe more people have been affected. There have been numerous alerts put out on this fake company, and they're encouraging people to contact them if they believe they were a victim. Border Services is looking into suspected officials from Iran who have made their way into Canada.
No Canadian should feel safe when we have people who have been involved in crimes against humanity, in terrorism, in trafficking, in money laundering, living amongst us as if that's normal.
Senior Iranian officials are banned from entering the country, but data shows some of these officials are getting in. As of this month, the CBSA has reviewed almost 18,000 Iranians for inadmissibility. So far, 20 senior Iranian officials have been flagged for deportation. 66 cases remain under investigation. Out of those 20 officials flagged, one person has been deported so far. The Manitoba High Schools Athletic Association is celebrating its Athletes of the Year.
On the male side, I'm excited to announce Magnus Carlos of Vincent Massey.
Magnus Carlos and Peyton Duran from Collège Jean Sauvé are the overall high school male and female athletes of the year. The award recognizes student athletes which exhibit excellence in their sports and are nominated by their school. Both played multiple sports at their schools and were leaders on and off the field.
I've just worked hard over the last 4 years and kind of just had fun playing all the sports I could, and the success just came with that.
I mean, it feels great. I mean, all the work I put in really pays off sometimes, so.
Both Magnus and Peyton will be playing sports on their university teams this fall. Other athletes of the year honored include Kai Solomon and Shael Razdiba of Hamiota Collegiate Institute, Colby Dirac of Warren Collegiate Institute, Shannon Bodnaris of Collège Stonewall Collegiate, Kai Godet of McGregor Collegiate Institute, and Junior Martin of Nealon High School. Here's a look now at what's happening on McPhillip Street. Things appear to be moving quite well starting off this Thursday morning. No issues to tell you about. If you see any problems out there, though, please let us know.
The Bathfitter Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
Taking a look outside, looking sunny, bright, and beautiful. 18 degrees with maybe 1 or 2 clouds out there. The winds are out of the south-southeast. The barometric pressure is falling, and the humidity sits at 83%. Sunny and warm. That's what we've got on tap for us here in the south. Bit of a different story to the north. Details on that in a moment. Currently, though, our temperatures are starting off fairly warm. 12 in Brandon, 10 in Dauphin. Pinawa starting off at 14 degrees. Over in northwestern Ontario, 15 in Kenora. Very similar temperatures to the north, but of course we know with those ongoing air quality issues and the wildfire fight, what they're looking for is less heat and more rainfall. Could be in the cards for you today, as evidenced by this disturbance pushing in from the west, bringing a slight chance of some rainfall today, and it intensifies overnight. The bad news with this, however, is that means there's also a chance of some thunderstorm activity along with it. Not what we want to see, but we will take the rainfall. Of course, when you put the kids on the bus here in Winnipeg, not a raindrop likely in sight. 17 degrees under clear sunny skies with those southeasterly winds. They'll be ramping up into the afternoon. Stronger winds than we've been seeing the last couple of days at 20 kilometers per hour. This is also our high today, 25 degrees with more of a mix of sun and cloud into the later afternoon. Overnight tonight, a couple clouds, temperatures dipping down to 14 degrees, winds staying strong out of the south. Into tomorrow, much the same. Oh, my apologies. This should actually be 27 degrees. We're getting much hotter on Friday under those clear skies and Saturday. Saturday is looking to be another balmy one at 28 degrees. Your CTV Morning Live picture of the day can snap this stunner of a sunset in swirling over the fields. Thanks so much for submitting, and send us yours, why don't you, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca. Alrighty, we're taking a break. Stay with us. So much more CTV Morning Live still to come.
CTV Morning Live School Day Forecast is brought to you by Rainbow Stage, your season to sing.
Good morning. If you have a washer and dryer, it's always best to make sure they're in good working condition and never overload them. Dryer fires are more common due to a building of lint, which can clog vents, but washer fires can happen too, and they can be just as dangerous. CTV's Pat Foran reports.
We could have all died.
Chandra Lake of Brampton says it was last fall when her 3-year-old washing machine caught on fire. Her daughter had been doing laundry and was about to leave the house to buy groceries when she noticed smoke coming from the basement. The family called 911 and firefighters were able to extinguish the blaze.
They determined that the drum might have seized and the motor was running and the friction might have caused the fire.
For Lake's family, it was a traumatic experience.
Just doing a load of laundry could have killed everyone in the house.
Before the load was finished, it essentially burst into flames.
Dominic Tetro of Cambridge says his 4-year-old washing machine caught on fire in April. Luckily, his family had 2 fire extinguishers and were able to put out the blaze. He says it's a lesson to never leave your washer or dryer operating unattended.
We're never going to leave laundry alone again.
It is uncommon, although washing machines can catch on fire, they could happen.
According to Ontario's Fire Marshal's Office, between the years of 2019 to 2023, there have been 22 washing machine fires and 648 dryer fires in the province. To avoid fires in the laundry room, check the washer and dryer cords for damage. Outlets should have ground fault circuit interrupters. Inspect and clean the lint screen after each load. Check the outdoor vent to ensure it's unobstructed, and always turn the washer and dryer off if you leave home or go to bed.
We want to make sure that we're installing our smoke alarms, testing them monthly with our families, and practicing a home fire escape plan with our families as well.
Both washing machines were LG models, but there's no indication the fires were connected, and LG is investigating. Both families still want answers, but after contacting CTV News, LG gave Tetro and Lake new washing machines.
Thank you, CTV. We appreciate the help.
I am so glad I got in touch with CTV News. I cannot thank you enough for investigating this issue for us.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Coming up, we're going to learn about the Mennonite Heritage Village and some of the really great artifacts they have in their collection. Stay with us.
CTV Morning Live is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Sunny and picturesque to start off our Thursday. 18 degrees with some south-southeasterly winds. Pressure is falling. Humidity at 83%. Lots of sunshine on the way for us in the south. Potentially a different story to the north. That's the good news. I'll have details on that in a moment, but take a look at our Skywatch radar here. There's a little bit of cloud coverage speckling through the south, and we'll likely deal with some pretty clear sunny skies. However, there is a slight chance of some rainfall to the north. This is what we want to see. The good news is, while this is only slight today, about a 30% chance in Thompson, it'll intensify overnight as that system pushes into the region. The bad news is it could come with some instability, some thunderstorms, lightning, not helpful with the wildfire fight. Otherwise, though, temperature-wise, you're getting very warm. Again, not really what we want to see. We want those milder temperatures. 25 in Thompson, 23 in Gillam, 25 in Churchill. Island Lake pretty warm at 26. This region likely to get the rainfall first. As mentioned, that system is pushing in from the west. Temperatures peaking in the mid-20s. Lynn Lake even cooler at 20 degrees. Norway House Cree Nation, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 15. Southwestern Manitoba above seasonal values in areas like Dauphin and Swan River, a little bit cooler in Brandon and Neepawa under those partly cloudy skies. Us here in south central Manitoba, clear skies to start, maybe some cloud coverage into the afternoon, highs into the mid to upper 20-degree mark. Northwestern Ontario much the same, maybe a little bit more in the way of cloud coverage. Very warm, particularly in Kenora at 27. Overnight tonight, temperatures dipping down to 14 under partly cloudy skies and southerly winds. Tomorrow we do it all over again under mostly sunny skies. There we go.
Thank you, Catherine. A teenage girl is in police custody after a woman was stabbed in Osborne Village. It happened Monday around midnight on Roslyn Road near Osborne Street. Police say the woman was attacked from behind, stabbed, and had her cell phone stolen. Bystanders intervened and the suspect ran off. The woman was taken to hospital in critical condition, but has since been upgraded to stable. A 17-year-old girl was arrested, but police believe there were others involved. Anyone with information is asked to give police a call. A Muslim woman says she was left helpless and humiliated after being forced to remove her hijab while boarding a Flair Airlines flight. The family says there were no issues at security. It was only when they got to the gate that a Flair airline attendant wouldn't let the woman on board unless she removed her hijab. It's a move the family says goes against federal procedures and violated their rights. CTV's Danton Unger reports.
I feel so humiliated.
Kazi Amin has lived in Canada for nearly 30 years, and in that time, she says she's never experienced something like this.
I think it's 100% Islamophobia.
It happened last Friday at the Toronto Pearson Airport. Amin was returning to Winnipeg from a family trip to Bangladesh. She passed through security with no problems at all, but when she went to board her Flair Airlines flight, things took a turn.
They looked at the passport and screamed and said, "You don't look anything like your picture. What is this?"
Amin's daughter, Sarah Rida, says the attendant took issue with her mother's passport photo taken nearly 10 years ago before she started wearing a hijab.
She started to yell and say, "You have to take off your headscarf."
Despite explaining it's a religious covering and to remove it in public would be the equivalent of undressing, Amin says she was forced to take off her hijab right there at the gate in front of everyone.
I feel so helpless, so humiliated. So I didn't know what else I could do.
According to the Canadian Air Transport Security Authority, you don't have to remove a religious head covering unless it causes an alarm during screening. And even then, if a physical search is required, a private room should be made available. But Rida and Amin say none of these procedures were followed.
Because of ignorance, I think. They don't know. They didn't get training.
Flair Airlines CEO Machi Vilk tells CTV News in a written statement, discrimination of any kind is not tolerated, and we're committed to ensuring every passenger is treated with dignity and respect. Vilk says the attendant in this case is employed by AGI, Flair's ground handling partner. He adds AGI has issued a formal apology to the passenger, and the employee involved is on leave pending a full investigation. It's a response Amin and Rida feel falls short.
I do want Flair to make a public apology to my mother and address how they're going to prevent this sort of behavior happening at the airports.
Danton Unger, CTV News, Winnipeg.
CTV News has reached out to AGI for comment and is awaiting a response. The family has filed a complaint with Flair Airlines and Transport Canada and are seeking legal counsel. They aren't the only ones. The National Council of Canadian Muslims says it is aware of the situation, calling it a serious violation of religious freedoms and basic rights. It adds its legal team is involved and will be engaging further. More Canadians are making their way home out of the Middle East.
It was unexpected. It was scary. It was a lot. I thought we were going to be stuck there, so happy to be back home.
People on a flight arranged by Ottawa arrived in Toronto yesterday after a 21-hour trip. Canadians filled 95 out of 265 seats booked by the government on the flight from Jordan to Greece. Global Affairs says just 7 Canadians used its buses out of Israel and the West Bank yesterday. Many Canadians are finding their own way home. Operations at Israel's main airport in Tel Aviv are now back to normal. Overall, Global Affairs says it has helped more than 600 Canadians leave the region. DHL Express Canada has reached a tentative agreement with its union. Unifor hasn't released details of the agreement. The union represents more than 2,100 truck drivers, couriers, and warehouse workers. The two sides have been at an impasse over issues around wages, working conditions, and automation in the workplace. The company had locked out workers June 8th and had temporarily halted operations last Friday. DHL expects to lift that suspension with immediate effect once the deal is ratified in the coming days. A huge summer storm caused a major deluge in France, with Paris among the hardest hit communities. Wind and rain lashed the French capital as heavy storms struck during a heat wave, washing out roads and subway stations. Watch as the Eiffel Tower slowly disappears from view as the clouds roll in and thunder and lightning strike. It's summer kickoff night tonight at Princess Auto Stadium as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers take on the Edmonton Elks. The Bombers look to improve to 3-0 on a short week after consecutive convincing wins over the BC Lions. Winnipeg defeated BC 27-14 last Saturday. Meanwhile, the Elks aim for their first win after losses to the Lions and the Montreal Alouettes in back-to-back weeks. Kickoff time tonight in Winnipeg is at 7:30. Here's what's happening on the St. James Bridge. Traffic volumes are still light at this point. No issues to tell you about. If you see problems out there, though, please let us know. And here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.38. The provincial average is lowered at $1.32. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.31. The lowest price in the city is $1.24. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
Price at the Pump brought to you by KidneyCard.ca. Get a free tow and a tax receipt for value of your car.
All right, let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who was live this morning at the Mennonite Heritage Village in Steinbach. It's a great place to visit anytime, but this summer they have some new things to show. Good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. And yes, some of the artifacts obtained as of just a couple weeks ago. So we're getting a sneak peek this morning. I love that behind the scenes look. Andrea Clausen joins us now to explain what some of them are and the stories behind it. But first, while we are at the museum, just tell us a bit about what we can see inside and outside too.
We have two galleries. So one is filled with a rotating exhibit. Every year we have something new. Right now we have an exhibit celebrating the 150th anniversary of the Mennonite arrival in Manitoba. And then outside in the village, we have a 40-acre ground here where we have over 30 heritage buildings, monuments, things like that outside to explore what Mennonite life looked like in Manitoba in, you know, the kind of late 1800s and then kind of early 1900s.
And don't worry, guys. Keep watching the show. We're going to head outside in due time. When it comes to the artifacts, this here dates back many years. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so this is an axe. You know, a lot of our artifacts look pretty bland. And you think, oh, what's an axe? This axe was purchased in 1938 by Abram Reimer, and it was brought to Canada when he immigrated here in 1948. But the significance of the axe is that Abram was part of what was called the Great Trek of ethnic Germans out of the Soviet Union during the Second World War. And that started, Germany invaded southern Ukraine in 1941 and occupied that area. That's where a lot of Mennonites lived. In 1943, the Soviets were pushing them back, and so the Germans evacuated ethnic Germans, 350,000, 35,000 Mennonites, into German-held territory. This was during the Second World War. And Abram would have used this axe. They were evacuated in freight cars. This isn't, you know, comfortable train travel where your meals are included. They would stop and cook over a campfire wherever they could, and so he would chop wood, chop kindling for these fires. So the axe enabled them to eat along this journey into German territory. At that point, he and his wife and their 3-year-old daughter were fleeing together. They stayed there for 4 years, and then they were able to immigrate to Canada in 1948 and brought the axe with them. And so this was something that was donated to the museum last year, I believe.
Wow. Thank you so much. Yeah, see, it's not as simple as that. Okay, 7 o'clock hour. We'll tell you what's in the chest.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go to the rooftop now. Looks like a good start to the day. Lots of sunshine this morning.
Yes, it's sunny. It's so pleasant out here. If you're not a fan of heat, it's always nice to get outside in these earlier hours because it's a lot less oppressive. Currently, it's 18 degrees. The winds have shifted overnight out of the south-southeast at 15 kilometers per hour. Barometric pressure is falling and the humidity sits at 83%. Okay, we're going to start up north and work our way down. So to the north, while you two will deal with sunshine and above seasonal temperatures in the mid-20 degree mark for most regions, there is a slight chance of some rainfall that's going to come from a system that's pushing in from the west. We want the rainfall, of course, with all that wildfire activity. Slight chance it'll show up today in areas in the northwest, but that risk intensifies overnight as it fans out across the north, bringing likely a couple days of rainfall. The bad news is potentially some thunderstorm activity as well. To the south, lots of sunshine, seasonal highs of 25 degrees in Winnipeg, stronger southerly winds at 20 kilometers per hour. Overnight tonight, skies remain partly cloudy, temperatures dipping down in Winnipeg to 14. And tomorrow we start to see that mercury rise with plenty of sunshine.
CTV Morning Live Weather brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
Looking at at the early markets, it's a mixed picture. Dow futures are up 105 points. NASDAQ futures are leading the charge, up 103. S&P futures have risen 19 points. The Canadian dollar is seeing a slight dip. Overseas, the Hang Seng is down 149 points, but Japan's Nikkei is rallying up a strong 642 points. Good morning, it is 6:45. Manitoba Public Insurance is sounding the alarm over the high number of young people being seriously injured in crashes involving off-road vehicles. Over the past 5 years, 633 children were sent to ERs and 12 people have been killed. June marks Off-Road Vehicle Safety Month, and on Wednesday, MPI sent a message to families who have the vehicles. The data shows the lack of adult supervision and a lack of helmet use are two of the biggest factors in injuries. Under Manitoba law, youth between the ages of 14 and 16 must be supervised and accompanied by a parent or person at least 18 years old.
I think there's quite low awareness. Unless you know someone who's been injured, or you work in our emergency department or for EMS or STARS or Medivacs or whatever, you work in a nursing station, then you know.
MPI has these safety tips for riders of any age. Always follow manufacturers' age guidelines based on the machine's power and size. Young riders should always have hands-on adult supervision. Always wear a DOT-approved helmet. Never carry passengers on single rider machines. Avoid paved roads. Ride in daylight on familiar terrain at safe speeds, and stick to designated trails or areas where permission has been granted. A growing measles surge in British Columbia is prompting new warnings. The province has so far avoided a major spread, but as CTV's Andrew Johnson tells us, low vaccination rates and summer travel could be a dangerous combination.
With students set to bounce into summer vacation, BC's Premier is blunt when asked about the province's growing measles outbreak.
Measles is no joke. It kills kids. It's a preventable disease, and we don't want that to be the story of the summer for our province.
EB's comments come after 17 new measles cases were identified in BC over the past week. Substantial growth in a province that's only seen a few dozen cases all year.
This is the sadly predictable outcome of some recklessness, frankly, on the parts of some politicians in terms of questioning vaccine safety.
Health officials are bracing for a surge in cases as vacationing families hit the road and potentially fuel spread between communities. Exposure warnings from the BC Centre for Disease Control are already pointing to travel being a risk, with people who recently sailed on ferries between Metro Vancouver and Victoria being asked to watch for symptoms. It's a situation leaving one infectious disease expert stunned.
This is astounding. This breaks my heart. As far back as the turn of the century, we had declared measles as eliminated in Canada, controlled in terms of local transmission. Vaccination rates have decreased in the province of British Columbia from 90% as recently as 5 or 6 years ago down to 70% and 50% or less in some parts of the province. That's what's driving this.
Every infection in BC and close to 90% in Alberta have been in unvaccinated people.
Measles is extremely contagious and can linger in the air for up to 2 hours after an infectious person leaves a space. It can also be tricky because early symptoms resemble a cold days before the telltale rash sets in, so people can be spreading it without even knowing it. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Manitoba has reported a small increase in measles infections. The latest update released Wednesday shows 3 new cases in June, bringing the total to 108 this year. So far in June, there have been 17 confirmed cases of measles and 4 probable cases, down from 72 confirmed cases in May. The province is urging people to check their vaccination status and get vaccinated to help prevent the spread of measles. Rent in Winnipeg remains among the lowest in the country, but it's still gone up in the last year. According to Statistics Canada, the average asking rent for a 2-bedroom apartment is now $1,600. That's up from $1,560. The most expensive place to rent remains Vancouver at more than $3,400 for a 2-bedroom. A survivor of the rock slide at Bow Glacier Falls is sharing her story of trying to help one of the people who died in the tragedy.
And I said, hang in there, we're going to be here. And I just held her hand.
Cindy MacArthur was part of a group of hikers who were caught in the rock slide. When the dust settled, she says hikers came together to help people who were hurt. One of those people hurt was Judah Heinrichs from Calgary. She was one of 2 people who died from the rock slide. Parks Canada called the rock slide a natural and unpredictable event. The trail to Bow Glacier remains closed indefinitely. A few days ago, we told you about 2 new baby reindeer which arrived at Assiniboine Park Zoo just last month.
Come on in to see the new baby.
Here's your chance now to see new arrivals, Navy and Cobalt, exploring their habitat at the zoo. The Journey to Churchill exhibit is where you'll find them. Navy was born May 1st to Mom Lucy. Cobalt was born May 27th to its mother Whitney. They're named for shades of blue to play off their dad's name. But because they are still little, the zoo says at times they may need to stay in the barn away from the public. They're so cute. Here's a look at what's happening on Osborne Street. Things are picking up over here, as you can see, but it looks like they're just waiting at a red light. Overall, no issues to tell you about in this area. If you see any problems out there, though, please let us know.
Casting our eye to the sky, 18 and sunny out there to kick us off in Winnipeg. Winds are out of the south-southeast, pretty light at 15 clicks. The pressure is falling. The humidity is at 83%. Yes, lots of sunshine on the way for us and more seasonal values, nice and warm. Meantime, to the north, we're keeping an eye on this disturbance. That's bringing the possibility of some showers. If it doesn't come today, particularly in the northwest, it's going to intensify overnight and likely last the next couple of days. That's the good news because we need the rainfall, as we know, in the north with the wildfire fight. Different story for the south and for us here in Winnipeg. We're looking at a high, as mentioned. That is bang on seasonal. Dang on seasonal is what I almost said. 25 degrees. Increasing cloudiness, though most of the day will be fairly clear, and those winds will be out of the south, ramping up at 20 kilometers per hour. Overnight, those winds stay strong. Temperatures dipping down to 14. Some partly cloudy skies remain. They clear out nicely into tomorrow. We're getting up to a high of 27 degrees with those winds ramping up and shifting slightly out of the southeast at 30 kilometers per hour. A little bit of everything for the weekend. Saturday is looking picture perfect and hot, 28 degrees under the clear sunny skies. And then Sunday, likely a rainy one with temperatures taking a bit of a dip at 22, but we're back under the sunshine at the start of next week.
CTV Morning Live Weather brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
You don't want to sit on this because tonight at midnight, that is the deadline, the final deadline to get your ticket for the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery. Finding out today where the money goes when you purchase your ticket. Jonathan Lyon joining me today, President and CEO of HSC Hospital Foundation. Jonathan, let's chat a little bit because people want to know. I mean, we know about the great prizes, but where does the money go?
So the money, there's a direct line between people buying a lottery ticket and our foundation having the ability to invest in frontline care that allows people to get better care sooner, quicker diagnosis, quicker treatment, better patient outcomes. So as an example, we're buying state-of-the-art equipment that allows people to have better surgical outcomes through acquisitions of things like the Da Vinci surgical robot. The first surgical robot in Manitoba was invested in and went up and running last September at HSC. And because of that, people are now able to have better outcomes, in some cases, a completely curative surgery versus being into palliative care. That is the impact that philanthropy and lottery ticket purchases have. So quicker and better recoveries, shorter hospital stays, more precision with the surgery through robotics and non-invasive equipment. And then that has a downstream effect with the emergency department to relieve pressure on the emergency department and allow, again, shorter hospital stays, allows us to attract and retain medical professionals within Health Sciences Centre, St. Boniface and Children's. So it's a great way to support ourselves and our loved ones in our time of need. Here we are with beautiful grand prizes, $1.25 million cash, houses, cars, trailers, all these sorts of things to enjoy summer. So please go to tryhospitaldream.com to get your lottery tickets to support healthcare for the big 3 hospitals in Manitoba. We really appreciate your support, Manitobans.
Thank you, Jonathan. TikTok deadline is midnight tonight.
It's called friendly fraud when customers knowingly or mistakenly dispute legitimate purchases with their credit card company. But now businesses are becoming the target. More and more people are disputing charges. and getting their money back while keeping the product, leaving businesses in the lurch. CTV's Caitlin Wilson reports.
I'm standing in front of the exact barbecue that this customer ordered.
It started with a routine order, a high-end barbecue delivered to a customer in Gatineau. But when the customer claimed he never received his order from Capital Barbecue's sister store in Hamilton, that's when things took a turn.
The customer called our delivery company to say that they were stepping out to pick up their daughter and asked if the barbecue could be left in the backyard, at the back gate of the home.
Owner Chuck Shabshove had the receipt, proof of delivery, even a registered warranty showing the customer's name and serial number. Still, the customer claimed he never got the barbecue.
We have definite proof that he got the product, the serial number matches the invoice, and he denies that he got it, and the credit card company sided with him.
In the end, the credit card company refunded the customer, and Chuck, he lost the grill and around $3,000.
Our margins on barbecues aren't great, so we have to sell probably 3 to 4 barbecues just to recoup the loss that we had on a fraudulent transaction.
It's called a chargeback, a consumer protection tool that allows customers to dispute charges they believe are fraudulent. But when false claims happen, it's often the business that gets burned, winning only 20 to 30% of chargeback disputes.
The fact that this is happening more and more often should be sending alarm bells to the credit card industry and to government that something needs to change.
The Canadian Federation of Independent Business says 2/3 of small businesses experienced fraud in the past 3 years, with many pointing to chargebacks as a growing concern. And for Chuck, it's not just money he's losing.
If a merchant has too many chargebacks, their rates will go up, and you're flagged as a high-risk merchant. It's ridiculous.
Caitlin Wilson, CTV News.
The Winnipeg Folk Festival is celebrating a milestone this summer, and we want you to have the whole experience. Folk Fest is 50 in 2025. As always, it will feature music, workshops, and a whole lot more, and you could be there to make memories of your own. We're giving away tickets for the entire weekend, plus quiet camping for you and 3 friends. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and tell us your favorite memory, whether it's from the first festival or the 49th, and maybe share a pic or 2 with us. Good luck. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back after this with your 7 o'clock headlines. Good morning. It is 7 o'clock on Thursday, June 26th. You're watching CTV Morning Live. Thank you so much for being with us. Now, we heard yesterday that a Manitoba senior has lost $2 million in a cryptocurrency scheme. The Manitoba Securities Commission is going to join us at about 7:32 to tell us what happened and give us some important reminders on how to protect ourselves. But first, your headlines. Wildfire evacuees return to Flin Flon after nearly a month. Residents are finally heading home. Plus, outrage in Carberry. Residents slam the province's safety plan for the deadly intersection. And Winnipeg Garden goes for gold. Esther Chen's green magic is turning heads and stealing hearts. Bringing in Catherine now. My garden looks pretty happy. I got a little bit of rain and now it's getting some sunshine.
Oh, that's good news, yes, because as we know, this is the time of year to make or break the garden. So happy Mother Nature could deliver a little sprinkling of rain. She could be delivering rain elsewhere in the province today. I'll have details on that in a moment. Currently, it's 18 degrees though, and clear sunny skies, some light southeasterly winds. The barometric pressure falling, humidity at 83%. Sunshine and heat, that's what we've got on tap for us here in southern Manitoba. I mentioned the rainfall. You can already see that disturbance picking up on the radar, that green kind of mass pushing in from the west. That's going to blanket out over northern Manitoba for the next couple of days. Likely today, though, it'll just be partly cloudy. The area that could see it first, Lynn Lake, where we know it is needed, there too could come with a risk of some thunderstorm activity. That is the bad news. We do not need that with the wildfire fight. But as the day progresses, you start to see it push in, really concentrating on that northwest corner. And as the evening progresses, it fans out, hopefully bringing a good drink of water to help with that wildfire fight. For us here in the south, there's that slight disturbance as well. Likely, though, partly cloudy skies after a day of sunshine today. So clouds overnight, and then into tomorrow, we clear out once again for plenty of sunshine, but more spatterings there of disturbances, hoping to bring more rainfall to the north into the weekend as well. In terms of our temperatures, we are dealing with a high here in Winnipeg of 25 degrees. That's bang on to what's normal for this time of year. Southerly winds at 20 kilometers millimeters per hour. They'll stay strong overnight with temperatures dipping down to 14 and skies becoming partly cloudy. Tomorrow, hot day, 27 under clear sunny skies. Your weather art of the day, a lovely one by Brady. Looks like a plane flying over, maybe that's Winnipeg, like the skyscrapers, and even give us a temperature. Thank you so much. And of course, if you have any photos of your kids' weather-themed drawings and sketches, we would love to see them. Send them our way to the email on your screen. Include their name and age, and we're going to feature one artwork every day at 7 a.m. right here on CTV Morning Live.
Thank you, Catherine. A month of disruption and uncertainty for thousands of Flin Flon residents is finally over. On Wednesday, after 4 weeks away from their community, everyone was welcome to return to their homes, which had been threatened by intense nearby wildfires.
It is amazing that we survived. When you look at that fire map and you see the little circle of Flin Flon and all of the fire and smoke around it, it truly is incredible. Who would have thought? We actually thought that we might not be coming home to our community.
Photos on social media are showing long lineups heading back into Flin Flon. Buses were also departing from hotels, taking more people back home that way. And when residents return, they won't be forced to handle everything on their own. Officials have set up a wellness center. It has food along with mental health services, plus disaster and recovery assistance.
They were warned in advance to please try and bring a couple of weeks worth of food if you can. Now that doesn't work for the people who have been taken out on buses so well, so that's one of the reasons why the wellness center is there to help with some basic necessities.
The city's mayor says no Flin Flon homes or businesses were lost in the fire. It's still burning near the Saskatchewan border, but it is contained. And Flin Flon officials say residents who were unable to board a bus home yesterday can catch one this morning. An uproar in Carberry Wednesday night as provincial officials announced the preferred choice for safety changes at the intersection near Carberry, where a bus crash killed 17 people. An R-cut option, which uses U-turns and prevents direct crossings, was unveiled at an open house in Carberry. But as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you now, area residents on hand were furious about the plan and pushed for a different solution.
A meeting in Carberry was heated as residents overwhelmingly voiced opposition to the recommended option to improve safety at the intersection where a crash killed 17 people.
They don't want to spend money on rural lives, and they don't want to actually listen to any rural voices.
Potential upgrades at Highways 1 and 5 have been studied since the horrific bus crash near Carberry 2 years ago. Engineers hired by the province and Transportation Department officials presented the preferred plan at an open house in town. An R-cut would be constructed, which would not allow vehicles to cross the highway directly, but instead they would have to turn onto the highway and then use a U-turn lane. Department officials say this reduces T-bone collisions.
That makes the type of crash in the event that somebody makes a mistake much more survivable than at a traditional intersection.
But the dozens of area residents who filled this gymnasium pushed back on the plan over concerns the R-cut is confusing and could be hard to navigate for large trucks.
Is anyone here from the community actually for the R-cut? No.
I know you're saying it's safer. Right. None of them will agree that that's safer.
Instead, they brought a petition with 2,100 signatures calling for an overpass, also known as an interchange.
An overpass gets rid of all the human error. We want to make a case that this is the right thing to do now.
The province says an interchange was ruled out in part because it would cost $100 million, 5 times the price of the R-cut.
But it's also a treatment that's much more appropriate for traffic volumes that are much higher than what we see at this intersection.
The recommendation for the R-cut, the petition, and the feedback against it will now be considered at the political level before a decision is made. Jeff Keel, CTV News, Carberry.
A spokesperson for the Canadian Senate says Senator Patrick Brazeau is recovering after a scary incident in the upper chamber Wednesday. Take a look.
Senator Brazeau.
Thank you very much. And
The independent senator from Quebec collapsed as he rose to speak during a debate on Bill C-5. A spokesperson from the Senate says Brazeau was examined by paramedics and appears to be recovering. Debate on the bill was paused for about 20 minutes. Donald Trump says U.S. and Iranian officials will hold talks next week, and he pushed back on a leaked U.S. intelligence report suggesting American strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities may have only set the country back by a few months.
Since then, we've collected additional intelligence. We've also spoken to people who have seen the site, and the site is obliterated. and we think everything nuclear is down there. They didn't take it out.
The UN nuclear watchdog says it expects damage at Iran's underground Fordow facility is, quote, very significant, but can't know for sure. Iran insists it will not give up its nuclear program, though the fragile ceasefire between Israel and Iran appears to be holding. If you've ever tried to tend to a garden, you know it can be a challenge. For some, just keeping the plants alive is a win. But there are some green thumbs in the city with gardens that have to be seen to be believed. And soon, you will be able to see those gardens.
When we first bought this house, the backyard is only like pure grass. There's nothing gardening at all. No flower beds, no shrubs.
Her hard work paid off. Esther Chen's garden was named as one of the 14 Gardens of Distinction by Nature Manitoba. Her garden will be shown to the public this upcoming Saturday for the organization's fundraising event.
They get to take pictures, they get to learn about plants they've never seen. There's a lot of times where the gardeners have got plants that you will never see in the garden centers.
If you'd like to see any of the 14 Gardens of Distinction, just go to naturemanitoba.ca for details. Here's a look at what's happening this morning at Portage at Polo Park. It looks like things are starting off really well traffic-wise over here. No issues to tell you about. If you see any delays out there, let us know, please.
Canada's benchmark stock index, the S&P TSX Composite, dropped by about half a percentage point yesterday and will begin today's trading day at 26,566 points. In the U.S., stocks were mixed yesterday, but futures contracts on the three main U.S. stock indices were higher this morning. Alimentation Couche-Tard, the Laval, Quebec-based gas station and convenience store giant, reported a 7.5% drop in revenue yesterday as lower gasoline demand affected fuel sales. Shares of Couche-Tard are down 13% so far this year, with sluggish economies around the world affecting sales. The company did not provide an update on its effort to buy the Tokyo-based owner of the huge 7-Eleven chain of convenience stores. Finally, Shell plc, the international oil producer, has denied a report that it is in talks to buy BP. A media report suggesting the two companies were talking about a combination sent shares of BP higher by as much as 10% yesterday. From the BNN Bloomberg newsroom in Toronto, I'm Paul Bagnall.
All right, let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live in Steinbach this morning. They have a lot going on there throughout the summer and things you could check out for yourself by visiting the museum. Good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. Yes, we're taking you back 150 years of Mennonite heritage here at the Village. 30 different heritage buildings, whether they're in their original state or replicas. This is the general store, there's a blacksmith's office, the school, and of course, the windmill from 1877. We're going to go inside and outside. It is the only wind-powered, fully functional windmill in Canada. How cool is that? We're also going to head inside. We're going to hear a romantic story from the Second World War time. Using, and this is the historical artifact, hear me out, bracket fungus. It's kind of hard to explain. I had to Google it, like woody fungus that comes out of a tree. Yeah, well, there's a romantic story behind that. There's also a Mennonite chest, and when you open it up, they only received this a couple weeks ago. When you open it up, you can actually identify the timeline. We're going to learn just how they did it.
Well, that's cool. Okay, looking forward to hearing more about that. Thank you, Ainsley. Outside on the rooftop now, the sun was shining on Ainsley's face. It's shining on your face. It's a beautiful start to the day.
Yeah, I feel like translucent when the sun really comes out, exposing how little sunshine I get throughout the year. But yes, if you want to go outside, enjoy, this is a good time to do it because it's still relatively cool and the sun is a little less damaging to our skin tip there. 17 degrees. We do have a couple of clouds that have joined us in the last kind of hour. Winds are out of the south-southeast at 10 kilometers per hour. The barometric pressure is rising. The humidity sits at 79%. Okay, so rainfall, small chance of it coming to the northwest today as the system starts to move in, and it'll blanket, likely spreading all throughout northern Manitoba overnight tonight. The bad news is it could bring with it some thunderstorm activity. We know with the wildfire situation, the more moisture, the better. The good news is you're likely to get some periods of rain off and on for the next couple of days, likely into the weekend. Temperatures there are still very warm again, though, above seasonal in the mid-20-degree mark. Similar highs for us here in the south, but we're going to get lots of sunshine to start, maybe a little bit of cloud coverage into the afternoon. Southerly winds for most of the region at 20 kilometers per hour. Overnight tonight in Winnipeg, skies become partly cloudy. Temperatures dip down to 14. Southerly winds remain strong, but they ramp up tomorrow, and that mercury climbs as well. Sunny skies with a high of 27 in Winnipeg.
CTV Morning Live Weather brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
It's time now to check in on our question of the day. We want to know, what's your favorite thing you're growing in your garden right now? Our question of the day has moved from Twitter. So now we want you to text your answer along with your name to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. It's Thursday. It's time to pause whatever you're doing because it's Pet of the Week time. Meet Lily, a 4-year-old rescue Chihuahua who proves that the best things really do come in small packages. Her human, Lori, says she's pure love, the kind of pooch who'll melt your heart with just one look. We're totally smitten, and we think you will be too. That's why Lily is taking the spotlight as our CTV Pet of the Week. Congratulations, Lily. Got a pet that makes you smile? Well, we want to meet them. Send us a photo and a fun little story to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch CTV Morning Live every Thursday between 6 to 9 to see if your furry friend is our next Pet of the Week. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back after this with more CTV Morning Live. Good morning, it is 7:16. Manitoba Public Insurance is asking the Public Utilities Board to approve changes to your insurance rates and deductible. MPI has applied for a 2.07% general rate increase. If approved, the public insurer says private passenger vehicle policies would go up by about $21 a year on average. MPI is also looking to change the deductible for basic insurance from $750 to $1,000. It would also add a $750 option to its list of lower deductibles. And it wants to add a new level 20, to the driver safety rating. The PUB still has to consider the changes, which wouldn't take effect until April 1st, 2026. Prime Minister Mark Carney is committing that Canada, along with other NATO allies, will invest 5% of GDP on defense by 2035, a pledge that will mean billions more in spending per year and the biggest increase since the Second World War. And the Prime Minister said Wednesday, paying for that pledge will involve cuts in other areas.
If we are moving to the higher and higher levels of defense spending because that's necessary, then we will have to make considerations about what less the federal government can do in certain cases and how we're going to pay for it.
Carney says many of those decisions will be made towards the end of the decade when the global security situation may be clearer. The Conservatives say they will be watching closely.
Well, this is why we needed a budget. We need to know where this money's coming from. Canadians deserve to know the truth. Those that serve and the Canadian Armed Forces need to have the direction that a budget provides in developing their departmental plans.
The Prime Minister chose not to issue a budget after being elected, but will present one in the fall instead. Tennis Canada and the city are serving up an ace for the community in Garden City. Our mayor hit the court to help officially open 6 newly restored tennis courts at Garden City Collegiate. It's one of 4 projects to receive funding through Tennis Canada and the National Bank Play Your Court program. Playing surfaces were upgraded with new benches, lights, and nets installed. The court will be used by students during school hours and available for community use at other times of the day.
They are super packed. It's a busy space because folks are coming together to play tennis, to connect with their neighbors, to just have fun outdoors.
Work on the nearby basketball court was also completed as part of the project. The revitalization cost $400,000, a quarter of which came from the Play Your Court program. Here's a look at what's happening on Donald Street. Things are appearing to be moving quite well here. All those cars are stopped at a red light. No issues to tell you about at this point.
CTV Morning Live Traffic brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
Time now for some entertainment news. A concert celebrating some of the most memorable musicals of all time is coming to Winnipeg.
And listen to the music of the night.
Music of the night, a concert celebration of Andrew Lloyd Webber's greatest hits is slated for the Centennial Concert Hall on September 20th with a live band and incredible celebrated singers. You can enjoy Andrew Lloyd Webber's most iconic theatrical music, including selections from Phantom of the Opera, Evita, and Cats. Tickets are on sale now. Just visit centennialconcerthall.com. This man is all over the screen, and now he's gracing the cover of a magazine. Pedro Pascal is Vanity Fair's July and August cover story. He opens up on his rise to stardom. You can catch him in theaters now for the film Materialists. He also stars in the upcoming Ari Aster film Eddington. That's set to release July 18th. Kick off your prime time at 7 with CMA Fest. Catch a rerun of The Big Bang Theory after, and wind down with E-Talk at 10:30. It's all right here on CTV.
The Bathfitter Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
I feel like we all collectively forgot that Gerard Butler was in the Phantom of the Opera. It's a real head scratcher. Okay, 17 degrees. That's for the 1% of viewers out there who are big Phantom of the Opera heads like me. 17 degrees out there, partly cloudy skies. Winds are out of the south-southeast at 10 kilometers per hour. The barometric pressure is rising and the humidity sits at 79%. Lots of sunshine on the way and decent temperatures. In fact, very typical for this time of year. We're starting off on a very warm note as well. 14 degrees in Brandon, 13 in Dauphin, 15 in Portage La Prairie, over in Pinawa, 15 degrees this hour. To the north, temperatures on par with what we're seeing here, and they're going to keep pace with us as well. Blanket highs across the board in the mid 20-degree mark, but not blanket conditions. As you can see here, we have this system pushing over from the west, likely bringing some rainfall, if not today, likely overnight, all throughout northern Manitoba. Not the case for us here in the south. We're going to stay dry. In fact, it's going to be quite sunny as the kids head out for sure at 17 degrees. Winds out of the southeast. Some cloud coverage joining us on the way home from school with that mix of sun and cloud. Just realizing I won't be able to use this bus graphic much longer because school's almost out. 25 is our high, and also the temperature on the way home. Winds are stronger at that hour out of the south at 20 kilometers per hour. Overnight tonight, temperatures dipping down to 14 under partly cloudy skies. Southerly winds stay strong, and they ramp up tomorrow and shift slightly out of the southeast at 30 kilometers per hour, bringing with it a very hot day, 27 degrees with lots of sunshine. And if you can believe it, getting even hotter on Saturday. Your CTV Morning Live picture of the day, a lovely, stunning orangey sunset in Sperling, captured on camera by Ken. Thank you for submitting. And if you've got any weather photos, sunshine or otherwise, let us know. You can send them to our email address at winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
CTV Morning Live School Day Forecast is brought to you by Rainbow Stage, your season to sing.
Are you ready to crank up your summer? Country Thunder is bringing the party to Princess Auto Stadium on July 10th, and we've got 4 tickets with your name on them. Get ready to sway and sing along with Riley Green, Tyler Hubbard, Nate Smith, and Madeline Merlot under the Summer Stars. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and enter the clue word Thunder. Good luck.
Tonight is the final deadline in the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery. Great prizes. Check out the website to learn more. Today, we're actually learning more about where some of that money goes. Angelique and Finny joining me today from the St. John Ambulance Therapy Dog Program. Angelique, this is an amazing program that you've been a part of for a while. Tell us a little bit about Finny and how you became part of this program.
We became part of this program about 5 years ago, and with the Health Sciences Center. And just 2 weeks ago, we started with the Children's Hospital, which was really, really heartwarming to spend the time with the children, and they would come in a room and visit with Finny.
Yeah. Talk about the impact that that has for some of the children that are going through care.
They are just so welcoming, and they love the time they spend. They get on the floor with him and just sit and pet him and talk to him and get him to do tricks, and they really enjoy it. Yeah.
Well, no doubt. I mean, especially for somebody going through care, children or adults, right? I mean, being around an animal we know has incredible impact, just in calming, assuring, and maybe just a little bit of a distraction, too, from what they're going through, right?
It is a real distraction, and it is calming for them, and the petting of them really helps. It's okay, babe.
Oh my goodness. All right, so of course it's programs like this which is where your money goes, and amazing prizes to be won. So you're gonna wanna check out the website. It's tryhospitaldream.com. Amazing prizes to be won, a home, there's cars, there's cash up for grabs, but most importantly, the dollars that you use to support this go to programs like this, helping Children's Hospital, HSC, and St. Boniface Hospital. So it's all going to an amazing place. Midnight tonight is the final deadline. So check out the website and get your ticket now.
All right, coming up, we're going to hear a little bit more about a Second World War era love story, and it's all because of this artifact. Stay with us for more details. Let's go back now to the Mennonite Heritage Village with our Ainsley McPhail.
Good morning, Rochelle. Yeah, we're learning about the wood here, but the story behind it, and to fill in the blanks, is Garth Dirksen. Good morning, Garth.
Good morning.
So yes, it might be as simple as that, but this donation truly is an incredible piece of Mennonite history here in Manitoba. Tell us a little bit about it.
Right, it's really a neat love story, and it was wonderful that the sons of the people that we're going to talk about donated this a few months back. So David and Mary Cron, Mary Entz, David Cron, were a young couple, fiancés. He was serving as a conscientious objector in Riding Mountain National Park at the time. His fiancée was living near Winkler, and of course they had some correspondence. One of the things that he did to remember his fiancée was to make this little picture frame out of a bracket fungus that I'm sure he will have found in the Riding Mountain National Park as he was working on building roads and cutting down trees.
Yeah. And the photos, I mean, these timeless memories, take us, tell us about him and them and what these photos really meant.
Right, again, really thankful for the donors to have provided these. A variety of pictures of David in the, and his fiancée in the Riding Mountain National Park in the camp, in the conscientious objectors camp, as they're building roads, as they're doing various things in living in tents in that park as they are as COs at the time. One really neat thing is on the advent of her baptism, he sent her this little brooch. Oh, wow. And so she was baptized in a church near Winkler, and this brooch was a gift that he had given to her. And again, all these years later, it's been kept, along with a little card that he sent in the envelope.
What's it say? Can you read it?
Yeah, sure. It says, "Dear Mary," followed by 4 X's, which is really sweet. A gift that's sent with cheer and hearty wishes for all the year. Hope that you have pleasure in using it just as I had in choosing it. Oh. For a remembrance in your baptism day, from Dave.
Oh my goodness.
It's a very sweet story taking place in World War II. 2 young people fiancés who were separated because of the war.
Thank you.
And
thank you so much. We're out of time. Gentlemen, take notes. Be better. Back to you.
I'm not proud to admit I used AI to help me write my last inscription to my boyfriend in a card, so this is really putting me on notice. 17 degrees currently. It is partly cloudy skies. I hope he's not watching. Winds out of the south-southeast at 10 kilometers per hour. The barometric pressure is rising. The humidity sits at 79%. So yes, a little bit of cloud coverage to start us off, but we've got lots of sunshine on the way. Also, fingers crossed for some rain to the areas to the north of us. So as you can see, those disturbances there, hopefully bringing some rainfall. Likely not today, potentially overnight, and it'll spread throughout northern Manitoba from the west, off and on through the next couple of days. The rainfall sorely needed in that wildfire fight. Not the case for us here. We're looking at a high of 25 degrees. We're going to be dealing with increasing cloudiness throughout the day, even though we start off under the sunshine. Plenty of strong southerly winds at 20 kilometers per hour. They persist overnight with temperatures dipping down to 14 degrees. Skies remaining partly cloudy. And then into tomorrow, we're going to be seeing another very sunny, very hot day to the tune of 27 with stronger southeasterly winds at 30 kilometers per hour. We've got a little bit of everything on hand for the weekend. Saturday, Sunny, picture perfect, a high of 28 degrees. Sunday, though, a bit of a spoiler. We see the mercury take a dip, but you know what? We could probably use a drink out there. I know many gardens could with that rainfall likely on Sunday. Clears out nicely on Monday. We kick off the work week under the sunshine with a high of 26 degrees. Then we are climbing well above seasonal, likely for much of the next work week to come. Clear sunny skies on Tuesday with a high of 30 degrees, and we do it all over again on Wednesday.
The Manitoba Securities Commission is putting out a warning after a local senior lost their life savings in a crypto scam. The senior lost $2 million in a scam known as a Fargo investor scheme. Joining us now with tips on how to spot investment fraud is Tyler Ritchie from the Manitoba Securities Commission. Good morning, Tyler.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, you first heard from the senior, a Manitoba man. He called you because he was concerned that maybe his sort of dealings, his investments were not legit, right? How did this all start?
That's correct, yeah. So this individual had gotten involved with a company called Fargo Investor, which he thought was a legitimate company providing investment services where he could invest in crypto and other investments. It turns out, unfortunately, that it was an investment scheme where his money was just taken, converted into crypto, and moved overseas, and his money was taken from him.
But it didn't happen that quickly. It happened over a long period of time where he was actually seeing a return on some of what looked like a return on some of his investment, right?
Exactly, yeah. So it was over time, and his money was appearing to grow in the account. It seemed like he was making quite a bit of money. Things were going well. The scammers were building trust with him, and so he believed everything was okay. So that trust was built over time.
And he was speaking with them. They sounded like they knew what they were talking about. It felt legitimate to him.
Yeah, he said that they were very knowledgeable, very friendly. They were answering questions. There was nothing to him that seemed overly suspicious. He had confidence in what he was invested in, and we see that with scammers these days, is that they're very talented at getting people to part with their money. They have tested scripts that they use that have proven to work. So this is a common thing that we're seeing, unfortunately.
How did he first get wind of this company? How did they find him?
So this company was online. Typically with these sorts of investment scams, we see social media ads where celebrities or famous people are used to promote the scam. And from there, that attracts interest for the individual. They click on the link, provide their information, their phone number, and they'll get a phone call from a boiler room overseas. And that's where the salespeople will put high-pressure sales tactics on a potential investor to get them to hand over their money.
Okay, so then what triggered him? What made him realize this might not be a real deal?
He talked to a couple of trusted individuals who said to him, you know what, you better contact the Securities Commission because we have some concerns with this. So that's what he did. Okay,
so for anybody watching this right now who you think there's other people who've been caught in the same scheme, if they're watching and they think potentially they also have been caught, what would you tell them? What are signs of trouble?
Yeah, so I think the first thing that I would suggest is checking for registration. So anybody who is offering investments in Manitoba needs to be registered with the Manitoba Securities Commission. So you can do that by checking, are they registered.ca? Type in the company name or the individual name and see if they're registered. That's a good first step.
Okay.
There's other things that you can look for, common red flags of these types of investment scams. For example, commonly the scam will be asking you to invest just a small amount of money at first. Could be about $250 or $300, and the scammers will tell you it's just a small amount, it's a low risk thing, and watch your investments grow. And so the investor will then be shown fake profits. It appears that everything's going well, that they're making good money, and that trust will be built in that way, and the investor unfortunately will then hand over more money. Other things to look out for, if somebody you don't know, you've never met before in person, is asking for remote access to your computer, that's a big red flag. They might be telling you that they need remote access to set up your account, and that's really a big risk because they're going to have control of your computer. You don't know what they're going to install on your computer or what they'll do. So another thing to look out for.
So before you give any money, check their name, see if they're legitimate, and then maybe don't allow them to get access to your computer, as well as ask questions, right?
Yes, and I think one more thing I'd like to add on that is even after these frauds are over, the same scammers will try to attempt and get more money from the victim, pretending to be a regulator or an insurance company or a law firm, offering a service of being able to get their money back for a fee. Oftentimes, most of the time, that's a scam as well. So something to watch out for.
Indeed. Okay, well, thank you for this advice. And again, if you want more information, we do have a link on our website. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right now, we're sitting at 17 degrees under sunny skies. We'll be back after this with more CTV Morning Live.
CTV Morning Live is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
A little bit of cloud coverage to kick us off. 17 degrees out there. Winds out of the south-southeast. The barometric pressure is rising. The humidity sits at 79%. We're going to get plenty of sunshine today in southern Manitoba. A good amount in store for the north, too. However, there's a likelihood, or a slight chance, I should rephrase that, of some showers. You can see there on our radar that system start to push in. It'll likely come to areas in the northwest, if not this afternoon, overnight, and then kind of fan out from there. So much of this region has a 30% chance of showers. The bad news is, as you can see from my graphic there, that there's a possibility of some thunderstorms associated with this. Still a low chance of this materializing today. I must underline that point. Highs, though, above seasonal. 25 degrees in Thompson, 23 in Gillam, over in Island Lake Balmy at 26 degrees. This is the region that has the strongest chance of seeing the showers today, but likely it'll come overnight. Temperature is very similar across the board here, with the exception of Norway House. It's a little bit cooler. To southwestern Manitoba we go. We're likely to start with those clear skies with clouds into the afternoon. Highs of 23 in Brandon and Neepawa. Very warm in Dauphin and Swan River at 26. Much the same for us here. We also have some fairly strong southerly winds. I should preface that by saying much of the south has this chance of seeing some 20-kilometer southerly gusts. 25 degrees basically across the board. A little bit of deviation the further east we go. Speaking of the east and northwestern Ontario, mix of sun and cloud and some very balmy temperatures. For us here in Winnipeg, we'll see the mercury dip to 14 overnight under partly cloudy skies. Southerly winds staying at 20 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow they ramp up and shift out of the southeast at 30, a warm high of 27.
Thank you, Catherine. We're going to go back to Ainsley McPhail now, who's live at the Mennonite Heritage Village, and they have a brand new dowry chest to show us. Good morning.
Rochelle, it's only been here a couple of weeks, and we're going to be learning what we know about it and maybe finding the answers from the audience about what we don't know about it. Garth joins me once again to explain. So this came to you a few weeks ago. Tell us about the dowry chest.
Right. So a couple in Winnipeg called us and said that they had a dowry chest. They didn't know the history of it. They had received it through an estate from a neighbor who had been a collector. That's all they really know about this, but they knew that it was a Mennonite dowry chest, and that's why they gave us a call.
Let's open it up, because that might unlock a bit of a timeline.
Right, exactly. So taking a look at the inside and these clippings that are on that have been pasted to the top, or to the lid, this is very typical of many other Mennonite travel chests or dowry chests that we do have. So that was one way we could identify that it was a Mennonite dowry chest. But as far as the timeline, we do see a picture here of Edward VII, who was the son of Queen Victoria. He reigned from 1901 to 1910. So we know that gives us sort of an idea, at least when that was put onto here. It doesn't say when it was built, but it at least gives us that much. And then over here, there's part of a calendar from an E.O. Ritz, general handler, who must have owned a store in Winkler. And I know the Ritz family still does have businesses in Winkler. And so it might be that the Ritz family can help us solve a little bit about at least who E.O. Ritz was, and that might help give us some clues about the chest itself.
What a fascinating way to be able to localize it. And thankfully, too, they've kept all of this in its original state. Is there anything else that we're looking at this chest, we say, okay, this is a Mennonite item?
Well, there would be some things. This kind of a travel chest, this is tradition taken back from certainly their time in Prussia, and then they moved to what is currently Ukraine, part of Imperial Russia at the time. So very typical. Many of the Mennonite travel chests that we do, or dowry chests that we have, are very similar to this. 5 legs. The legs separate from the chest itself.
It is awesome. This is so beautiful. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, we are going outside.
Thank you, Ainsley. A Muslim woman says she was left helpless and humiliated after being forced to remove her hijab while boarding a Flair Airlines flight. A move the family says goes against federal procedures and violated their rights.
I think it's 100% Islamophobia.
It happened last Friday at the Toronto Pearson Airport. Kazi Amin was returning to Winnipeg from a family trip to Bangladesh. She says she passed through security with no problems at all, but when she went to board her Flair Airlines flight, things took a turn. She was forced to take off her hijab right there at the gate in front of everyone.
I feel so helpless, so humiliated, so I didn't know what else I could do.
The family has filed a complaint with Flair Airlines and Transport Canada and are seeking legal counsel. Flair Airlines CEO Machi Vilk tells CTV News in a written statement, quote, "Discrimination of any kind is not tolerated, and we are committed to ensuring every passenger is treated with dignity and respect." Wilk says the attendant in this case is employed by AGI, Flair's ground handling partner. CTV News has reached out to AGI for comment and is awaiting a response. Here's what's happening on Portage Avenue. Things are moving well over here. No issues to tell you about. Looks like a pretty smooth drive so far. And here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.38, while the provincial average is lower at $1.32. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.31. The lowest price in the city is $1.24. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
Price at the pump brought to you by kidneycard.ca. Get a free tow and a tax receipt for value of your car.
It's time for Let's Celebrate. Let's see who's having a celebration today. Happy graduation from Headscarf Cohen and good luck in kindergarten from your family. Happy graduation and happy 18th birthday, Jaden, from us and Gus. Happy 12th birthday, Owen. Love Grandpa, Grandma, Uncle Ryan, and Cousin Logan. Best wishes for a super special birthday to Briar. Love Mom, Dad, and Jace. Congratulations to Nora, who is 16 and graduating from grade 12 at R.D. Parker Collegiate from family and friends. Happy 70th birthday, Nadia. And be sure to celebrate in style with love from family and friends. Happy birthday, Thea. Love Mama and Papa. Happy graduation, Mary May, with love from your mom. Happy birthday, Maverick. Love Mom, Dad, and Dallas. And a happy 21st anniversary to Bonnie and Tom. Love from Mom, Maya, Alexander, Dad, and all the animals. If someone you care about is having a birthday, anniversary, retirement, or graduation, let's celebrate. To submit your celebration, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Let's Celebrate, brought to you by Party Stuff, 3 Winnipeg locations and at partystuff.ca. CTV Morning Live Weather is brought to you by Destination Dinner Stage, Manitoba's only musical dinner theater.
The sunshine is intensifying out here. You can already start to feel it heating up. 17 degrees with lots of sunshine. Winds are out of the south-southeast at 10 clicks. Pressure rising, humidity at 79%. So yes, it's going to be a decently warm day across southern Manitoba. Much of the region expecting highs into the mid-20s. For us in Winnipeg, 25 degrees, bang on. Winds will be ramping up slightly out of the south at 20 kilometers per hour. Maybe a little bit more cloud coverage into the late afternoon, but for the most part, nice and clear. Bit of a different story to the north. While you two will likely see a good amount of sunshine, there is a system we're tracking that we're hoping is going to bring some rainfall. It's going to push in from the west, so Lynn Lake could see it as early as today. Likely it won't come till overnight. We know with the wildfires, the moisture is a great news. However, with that system also comes a chance of thunderstorms and lightning, not the best. But this system could be kind of lingering for the next couple of days, giving a much needed drink and helping those wildfire fighting efforts.
of students of African descent has just finished a master class on filmmaking. The class is meant to mentor and inspire emerging Black filmmakers. Now, some of the films created will be showcased at the Winnipeg Art Gallery in September. Joining us now to tell us more about the master class and the upcoming African Movie Festival in Manitoba are Benako and student Precious Akinola. Hello to both of you.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being with us. Now, tell us about this master class, because it's really unique, right? You had a real range of ages when it came to some of the students, from 12 to 25, including Precious, who's 12. Tell us a little bit about what was the inspiration behind creating this master class.
Multiple inspirations. First, it's the fact that there is a gap in Black filmmakers in the industry in Manitoba and maybe Canada generally, and we wanted to do a little bit to close that gap. But secondly, specifically with this master class group, the mental health was a big part of the filmmaking process. So we had a mental health expert come talk to us. We received funding from the Public Health Agency of Canada, and the focus was really to get some mental health training going. And we wanted to do that through film, so that some of the films that they will be creating from this program would have some mental health components to them, especially within the Black community, which seems to be taboo, not quite a subject that you mention often around the family tables in Black communities. So it's important that we focus on that area. And yeah, pretty much to skill young people and get them excited about a potential career in filmmaking, something that hopefully their parents would buy into, which is not something most African parents also buy into, because of course if you're not a lawyer, doctor, engineer, then you're not doing something useful with your life. So art is something that we feel is something important for young people to participate in. So yeah.
Very cool. Precious, you wanted to be a part of this.
Yes, I did. When I saw this, it was very interesting, and I said to myself, how can I take this further? Like, how can I explore my interest in filmmaking? And so I asked my parents registered me in, and I got to learn all about editing and lights and cameras and all that sound effect stuff that you can learn. And the masterclass has very interactive things, whereas we would all come out, like all 15 of us, and we would like go behind the camera and do some scenes with some lights. Yeah, and it was very interesting.
Did you have a little bit of a hard time convincing your parents to be a part of this?
No, they said yes, because
you were interested.
Yeah,
it was
interesting.
And so is this something you think you want to do with your life, filmmaking?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I can take it further. I like directing and all, so yeah, it's something I could take further.
That's exciting. Did you feel that the mental health component was really key here as well?
Yes, it's very important too, because I have noticed that a lot of Black people don't have, they don't have a lot of knowledge about mental health, not very informed about it, so it was important, yeah.
Okay, so they took this first part of the master class. Now that's over. Now they get to filmmaking, right? And some of the films that they will be creating will be shown at the Winnipeg Art Gallery. Tell us about that. We're almost out of time already.
Yeah, at the end of the year, or in the fall, rather, through September 15th to 21st, we have the African Movie Festival in Manitoba, which is a showcase of African cinema. And so we want to make this a big experience for them. We would screen their films, would have them sit on the podium and be interviewed like typical directors, because this is really the beginning of their career in filmmaking. Hopefully some of those films would be shipped out to other festivals, and they might get invites to get to sit out and talk with audiences and all that. So big experience for them.
Thank you so much for sharing this with us. And Precious, good luck with your filmmaking.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see what you come up with. You'll have to come back and show us.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rochelle.
Community Connection is brought to you by Mr. Reuter Plumbing. Born to be a hero, trained to be a plumber.
Coming up, we're going to learn more about the history of this iconic windmill in Steinbach. Stay with us.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. In Fort, we take you to City Field.
Hit against Jeremy Hefner.
Marcelo Ozuna for the Braves, hitting the long ball, but not long enough. Jeff McNeil, the robbery. Look at this catch. Just climbs the wall, gets the glove, times it perfectly. McNeil was also 2 for 4 at the plate in this one as your Mets went on to win the game and have themselves a night. And coming up tonight on TSN, it is week 4 in the CFL getting underway with the Bombers in action hosting the Elks. Coverage gets underway at 7 p.m. Central Time. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
TSN Must See Moments brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, your Hunter Douglas shade provider for over 40 years.
Good morning. It's 8 o'clock on your Thursday. Thank you so much for being with us. Coming up in the next hour, we're going to tell you about the Winnipeg's brand new transit system. It's officially starting on Sunday. So we're going to give you some reminders on what the changes will look like and what you need to do ahead of time to be ready for the changes on Sunday. But first, your headlines. Intersection in dispute, how local residents and the province differ on making a deadly highway crossing safer. Glad to be home. Residents of Flin Flon are back and grateful after 4 weeks of disruption and uncertainty. And brighter side of a breakdown, how a temporary loss of AC led these critters to their forever homes. Bringing in Catherine Down now, and we are looking at another gorgeous day today. Lots of sunshine.
Lots of sunshine for us here in the south, and as we heard about folks returning to Flin Flon, we have a chance for some rainfall in that region, which is great news. Looking outside in Winnipeg, look how nice that live eye shot is, 17 degrees. We got a little bit of cloud coverage to kick us off. Winds are out of the south-southeast, fairly light. The barometric pressure is rising and the humidity sits at 79%. So the clouds will be clearing away in due time, leaving behind lots of sunshine. I mentioned the rainfall. You can see that disturbance starting to push in from the west. It could take until overnight to really show up, particularly in the northwest, and then it's likely to fan out through the next couple of days. So the bad news is here, though, those who are intrepid weather watchers know with any coloration other than green, that means there could be some thunderstorm or lightning activity associated with this rainfall. Not what we want to douse those flames, but we're going to take the good with the bad here, because as you can see, as it spreads into the region, likely overnight tonight, it continues to come, so likely a couple days of periods of showers off and on, while we here in the south will be dealing with decently clear skies off and on through the next couple of days. Slight disturbance there to kick off Friday, but for the most part it's going to be clear and sunny, as Friday looks to be a bit of a rainy one in the south, or in the north, excuse me. That's what we're looking for. In terms of our temperatures, we're getting up to a high of 25 degrees here in Winnipeg. That's kind of the norm throughout much of the province, in fact, not just here in the south. Temperatures dipping down overnight to 14, and then from there we're starting to see temperatures rise to a high of 27 on Friday. Your weather art of the day, Brady drew this one, a plane flying over, I think that's Winnipeg, with those nice skyscrapers. Thanks for drawing that, Brady. And of course, if you have any of your kids' weather-themed drawings and sketches, we'd love to see them. Send us photos along with their name and age, and we're going to feature one artwork every day at 7 a.m. right here on CTV Morning Live.
Thank you, Catherine. Winnipeg police have issued a silver alert for a missing 33-year-old man. Police say Spencer Bushy was last seen in St. Vital near the intersection of Met Street and Oak Ridge Bay at around 9 p.m. last night. Bushy is described as being 6 feet 6 inches tall with a medium build, brown eyes, and short black hair. He may be wearing a burgundy hoodie, blue shirt, dark shorts, and gray runners. The Winnipeg Police Service is concerned for Bushy's well-being and ask anyone with information on his whereabouts to call the Missing Persons Unit at 204-986-6250. Police issue a silver alert whenever a vulnerable adult is reported as missing. At a community meeting last night, several people in Carberry expressed disappointment and frustration over plans to change an intersection where a bus crash killed 17 people 2 years ago.
They don't want to spend money on rural lives, and they don't want to actually listen to any rural voices.
The province has been looking at different options for the intersection of Highways 1 and 5. That's where a bus carrying seniors was hit by a semi-trailer in June of 2023 and burst into flames. Engineers hired by the province and transportation department officials presented the preferred plan at an open house in town. An R-cut would be constructed, which would not allow vehicles to cross the highway directly. Instead, they would have to turn onto the highway and then use a U-turn lane. Department officials say this reduces T-bone collisions.
That makes the type of crash in the event that somebody makes a mistake much more survivable than at a traditional intersection.
Residents say the arc hut is confusing and could be hard to navigate for large trucks. They brought a petition with 2,100 signatures calling for an interchange. The province says an interchange was ruled out in part because it would cost $100 million, 5 times the price of the arc hut. The recommendation for the arc hut, the petition, and the feedback against it will now be considered at the political level before a decision is made. After a month of disruption and uncertainty, thousands of people from Flin Flon are finally home.
It is amazing that we survived. It truly is incredible. Who would have thought? We actually thought that we might not be coming home to our community.
Fire trucks and local business owners lining the streets greeting their returning neighbors. Officials have set up a wellness center. It has food along with mental health services, plus disaster and recovery assistance. The city's mayor says no Flin Flon homes or businesses were lost in the fire, and Flin Flon officials say residents who were unable to board a bus home yesterday can catch one this morning. An animal shelter losing its air conditioning during a heat wave could have been trouble. Luckily, people in the community stepped up. Workers at this shelter in Maryland put out a call for help when the air conditioning suddenly went out this week. People in the community then took dozens of the animals home for temporary care. It didn't take long for the shelter to get its AC back up and running, but people who took in animals can keep them a little longer to see if there's a fit for a forever home. Here's a look at what's happening on Kenniston Boulevard. Things are moving well over here. We have no issues to tell you about at this point. If you see any problems out there, please let us know.
It's an exciting day. It all ends at midnight tonight. We're talking about the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery. Todd McNeil joining me today from St. Boniface Hospital Foundation. And Todd, yeah, this is it. I mean, we've been watching the commercials. You've been hearing us chatting about the amazing prizes to be won. Let's just remind people what's up for grabs.
You know, it is an exciting day. It is our final deadline midnight tonight. So there are thousands of prizes to win, over $1.25 million to be won on the grand prize alone. There's 5 home packages worth over $1.5 each. So get your ticket before midnight tonight and you have a chance to be Manitoba's next millionaire. But when you get that, there's the 50-50. It's almost $1.3 million. We're expecting it to get over 1.3 by midnight tonight. That means that winner's going to take over $650,000 cash home.
Cash in the pocket. You gotta like that, especially these days, right?
Cash is king right now. Exactly. Yeah. So, but when you buy your ticket, you're supporting the 3 big hospitals here in Manitoba. You're supporting the St. Boniface Hospital, HSC Hospital, and the HSC Children's Hospital. So by buying your ticket, you're supporting those caregivers at each of those facilities and giving them the tools and technology needed to take care of us in our time of need.
Yeah, it's research, it's technology, it's programs, and ultimately it's the care. And Todd, sometimes we take our health for granted. I mean, when we're feeling good, it's easy to do that. As soon as you're not feeling great, you want that care to be there, and it's programs like this that make sure that it is. So what's the website that people go to?
TryHospitalDream.com. Get your ticket before midnight tonight and support those 3 big hospitals.
All right, you're a winner just for getting your ticket, but you could be a real winner. Midnight tonight, that's the deadline. Thanks so much, Todd.
Thanks.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live in Steinbach this morning. The iconic windmill that you see when you drive into that city, it is iconic and so beautiful. Tell us a little bit more about its history.
Rochelle, good morning. We're taking you back to 1877. Of course, this is a recreation, a second recreation of the iconic windmill. Andrea Clausen joins us and is going to explain. So give us a history lesson, Andrea. Take us back in time.
Okay, so this is a windmill that was significant to Steinbach. It is based off of the 1877 windmill that was made here in Steinbach. That, interestingly, the windmill has become a symbol for Steinbach, for the city. But it only lasted here, the original one, for 2 years. The wind power just wasn't strong enough to make it a viable business, so it was dismantled and moved to Rosenort. So a very short history for this particular one. For us here at the museum, we built the first replica windmill here in the 1970s. Unfortunately, that one was ruined by an arson fire in 2000, and so we rebuilt it in 2001. So this is our second replica here on the grounds.
Mm-hmm. And what now? Because it's workable. So in what ways are you educating the public now, and what does it actually do?
Yeah. Well, windmills are important to the history of Mennonites, and that's why it's here. Not just important to Steinbach, but the history of Mennonites and windmills goes back to the Netherlands and Prussia when they drained water to make farmland. And so it is a part of farming community and farming life in the villages here, but it does have that history all the way back to the 1500s. We do operate it, and we use the flour from it in our restaurant. So we do operate it when the wind is strong enough, and we operate it for demonstrations. So if you're here on a windy day, chances are good in the summer that the miller will be inside milling grain.
And when you come here, I mean, today is a beautiful day for it. I like to think I'm getting a private tour myself, but you can walk inside too. There's an indoor component.
Yes, totally. There's the main floor and then there's the milling floor where you can see we have this windmill would have 2 grindstones. One of them we have operational, and one of them we have kind of open, so people can see, oh, this is what it looks like in the compartment where the 2 stones grind against each other to grind the wheat into flour. So yeah, it has 2 levels, and people are welcome to go into that and check it out. We often will have an interpreter here on the days when we have, like July 1st, we have a big festival happening here, so we have interpreters in the building to help explain how it works and the history of it.
What's your favorite thing to make with the flour?
Bread.
Cookies, chocolate chip Steinbach cookies. Rochelle.
The Bathfitter Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
And now I am hungry. All right, it looks like Mother Nature has more than woken up. 19 degrees, lots of sunshine, a few clouds out there this hour. Winds are out of the south, the barometric pressure's on the rise, and the humidity is at 67%. Sunshine's the name of the game today, and seasonal temperatures all across southern Manitoba and above seasonal up to the north of us that are on par with what we're going to be seeing here today. Here in the south, rather. Temperatures starting off at 15 degrees in Brandon, 18 in Dauphin, getting really warm already. Gimli and Pinawa both at 18 degrees. Kenora 19 degrees this hour. To the north, temperatures basically on par with what we're seeing here. We could see our conditions diverge a little bit between north and south as the day progresses, as evidenced by just in the very westerly corner here, a system bringing hopefully some rainfall to this region. It'll likely take until tonight to show up, particularly in the northeast, and then fan out from there. For us here in Winnipeg, though, as you put the kids on the bus, lots of sunshine, 17 degrees. On the way home, we'll see that mercury really rise with a couple clouds joining us, 25 degrees. Also our high for today. Overnight tonight, skies remain partly cloudy with temperatures dipping down to 14 degrees. Those southerly winds staying persistent at 20 kilometers per hour. Into tomorrow, a hot, sunny day. 27 is what we're looking at. More sunshine on the way. And then Saturday is looking lovely. 28 under a mix of sun and cloud. Then we get a bit of a spoiler with the rainfall, but we could use it. 22 with the showers likely before the sunshine returns Monday. We're going to be learning more about the Winnipeg Transit rework. That's just ahead.
CTV Morning Live School Day Forecast is brought to you by Rainbow Stage, your season to sing.
Canada's benchmark stock index, the S&P TSX Composite, dropped by about half a percentage point yesterday and will begin today's trading day at 26,566 points. In the U.S., stocks were mixed yesterday, but futures contracts on the 3 main U.S. stock indices were higher this morning. Alimentation Couche-Tard, the Laval, Quebec-based gas station and convenience store giant, reported a 7.5% drop in revenue yesterday as lower gasoline demand affected fuel sales. Shares of Couche-Tard are down 13% so far this year, with sluggish economies around the world affecting sales. The company did not provide an update on its effort to buy the Tokyo-based owner of the huge 7-Eleven chain of convenience stores. Finally, Shell plc, the international oil producer, has denied a report that it is in talks to buy BP. A media report suggesting the two companies were talking about a combination sent shares of BP higher by as much as 10% yesterday. From the BNN Bloomberg Newsroom in Toronto, I'm Paul Bagnall.
If you take the bus to get to work or play, your ride and where to take it may be about to change. The city's new transit network is coming into full effect on Sunday. Joining us now to tell us more about the changes and what to expect is Bjorn Radstrom from Winnipeg Transit. Good morning, Bjorn.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Now, these big changes are happening Sunday, right off the bat, Sunday morning.
Yep. First bus leaves at 5:33 in the morning, and basically the existing network ends late Saturday night, and on Sunday morning, everything is brand new. It's pretty much new routes throughout the entire city.
For transit riders, if they don't know this change is coming, they've missed something, obviously. So most people know that this is happening. A lot of people might not be aware of exactly what it means to them. So how would you explain that to them?
The way we've described it is everything is changing. All the routes, all the stops, everything is changing. That's why we've replaced every single bus stop throughout the city. And there's notice boards saying, you know, these routes will be in effect until the end of service on Saturday, and Sunday morning the ones on the permanent sign will be in place. And what we've been asking everybody to do is to use all the trip planning tools we made available to them. So we have our own Navigo trip planner on our website or on our app. We've partnered with another company called the Transit app, and they've got a trip planner on there as well. And you can plan now for what your bus trips will be on the new network. And both of them do things a little bit differently. So we're asking people, try both and figure out which one works best for you, because you'll get slightly different results, and one might tell you a better trip than the other does.
Okay. So a lot of people have tried this, have looked at it, and have examined what it will mean to them. And some people are saying that it'll mean more transfers for them. It'll also mean, you know, longer wait times, maybe more walking distances to reach the next bus stop. What would you say to that?
That is true for some people, but that's not true for everybody. And I can give an example from my own personal life where right now, if I want to go visit my mom in East Kildonan, I have a direct trip on the 44. It actually takes a long time because if anybody knows the 44, it really winds its way through Elmwood and East Kildonan. After the new network is launched, if I want to go and visit her, I have a couple different options. One requires one transfer, one requires two transfers. Both of them are actually quicker than the direct trip. So we're asking people not to prejudge what you're seeing and to actually get out and use it, because you might find that even with the transfer, it's a lot more convenient and even quicker. Now,
you were explaining this off camera a little earlier, that the system we have in place right now really was designed for the 50s and 60s. Why is that?
Because back then, the most important thing was getting everybody into downtown in the morning and out of downtown in the afternoon. And downtown will always be our biggest single destination, but it doesn't have the same prominence that it did back then. And when we were doing public engagement and developing this plan, what we heard clearly from people is they want to be able to get from anywhere to anywhere. They don't just want to commute. If they want to use a sustainable mode of transportation, they want to be able to use it to do things like going shopping, visiting their friends, just getting around. And this new network will allow that, and it doesn't depend on everybody coming to downtown to transfer and then leaving on a different route just to get across the city. There's more direct services across the city from neighborhood to neighborhood.
And the old system had sort of reached its capacity already. You said that only 8% of people are using transit based on the old system. You think this new system will increase that substantially?
Yeah, we've got goals set out in the city's climate action plan to really increase the number of people that are taking transit and using other sustainable modes of transportation. So if we want to double transit ridership in whatever time horizon, we really needed something different. Because if only 8% of trips are by bus right now, what that tells me is that sure, there's a lot of people who just don't want to take transit, but there's also a lot of people that can't because the system just doesn't work for them. So this new system that allows you to get all around the city really opens up being able to use transit for a lot more people.
So for someone watching this right now and they want to try it, what's the best way to do it? You talked about those two different systems to test out. And then before you judge, just try a ride, right?
Try it, yeah. And then we want to hear feedback from people. People don't always expect somebody who works for the city to say this, but I like complaints. I really like them and I value them, but I just ask that people are specific and they're constructive, because then we can do something with that. And I'm not saying that we can instantly react and make a whole bunch of changes that make things perfect. But we now have a process that was approved by our council for an annual service plan. So we're going to be taking all this feedback and systematically analyzing that and proposing changes every single year to improve the system. And a lot of that will be based on what we see through our analysis, from what we hear from bus operators, but also what we hear from the public. And we'll be using that to make these changes and improve the system.
And there's not going to be any more buses. Like, you're not adding buses to the system, but it'll just be more efficient, so you don't need any more buses.
It's more efficient, yeah. The one example that I always like to use is the 11 right now. So there's the 11 Glenway, Donwood, and Rothesay. If you need the 11 Rothesay, that in the afternoon rush hour comes every half an hour or so. And that bus might be full with a whole bunch of people who are going to anywhere along Henderson Highway, not necessarily onto Rothesay. And it's really frustrating for you, because the next bus would be half an hour later. But with the simplified network, there's an F8 bus going on Henderson Highway coming every 3 to 5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer.
It's more efficient.
And you can just catch any of those, even if your bus is full, not a big deal. The next one's coming along in a few minutes.
Bjorn, thank you for your help with this today.
Okay, thank you.
Wow, it's getting hot and sunny out there. We're currently at 19 degrees here in Winnipeg. Winds are out of the south. It's kind of cool. At 15 kilometers per hour. The barometric pressure is rising. The humidity sits at 67%. So yes, sunny day ahead and seasonal values as well. Much of the province will be dealing with highs into the mid-20 degree mark. Decently strong southerly winds at 20 clicks for the south. To the north, you're going to start with the sunshine, maybe some clouds a little later on. Plus a system we're tracking could be bringing rainfall, particularly to the northwest. Could come this afternoon. It's more likely to hit you overnight and then fan out across the north. The rainfall is the good news. The bad news is there is some instability associated with this system, meaning it could bring some thunderstorm and lightning. Not what we want with that wildfire risk. Your CTV Morning Live picture of the day, a lovely shot of the sunset in Sperling. Thank you to Ken for capturing this picture-perfect moment. And if you have any of those on your camera roll, send them our way to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Weather brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful at 900 Lorimer Boulevard, featuring Hunter Douglas Shades.
As summer temperatures rise, a reminder that some common medications can make our bodies more susceptible to the sun. Here's CNN's Mandy Gaither.
High temperatures, heat, and humidity can all affect the body, but some medications can pose an added danger.
People are doing their errands, they're overheated, they don't feel well, and they can get really heat exhausted pretty quickly. Meds can have a significant impact.
The CDC says some medications interfere with the body's ability to regulate temperature, making it harder to cool down and increases sun sensitivity to the skin. Some medicine can also make a person more vulnerable to the heat by affecting the body's hydration, says Dr. Jesse Bracamonte with Mayo Clinic.
In some cases, if you're not hydrating, in certain meds can make you feel lightheaded and dizzy and nauseated. So it's really important to stay hydrated.
The CDC says medications that don't mix well with the heat include anticholinergics, some antidepressants and antipsychotics, antihistamines, beta blockers, diuretics, antibiotics, and antifungals. The heat can also degrade or damage some medications, including insulin, inhalers, and EpiPens. Bracamonte says to make sure they're being stored properly.
You don't want to leave any medications in the heat.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
CTV Morning Live is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
A documentary that was selected as an audience top 10 film at the Hot Docs Festival this past April will be premiering here in Manitoba this weekend. The documentary is titled Parade: Queer Acts of Love and Resistance. Joining us now is Noam Gonick, the director of the film Parade: Queer Acts of Love and Resistance. Good morning, Noam.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's great to be here.
This is so exciting. You're getting lots of love for this documentary. Tell us a little bit about what it took to put this together and what inspired you.
Well, yeah, a lot of love. And we were talking during the break, I'm not used to this much love on a film. Generally, we make things that have, you know, a little bit of criticism, a little bit of love, but this one has been quite universal. I think what led to all that is we're sort of in a very edgy time right now. So this is a film about the history of the queer rights movement in Canada. And when we started making it a few years ago, it seemed like, oh, this isn't going to be very controversial. All these rights have been won and it's sort of done and dusted. But then as we started to work on the film, globally, the whole situation changed and politics became much more extreme, and rights that we thought, you know, would never be questioned. I'm not just talking about gay rights, but talking about, say, for instance, abortion, a woman's right to choose in the States. So many of these rights have been challenged and taken away. And so now we're looking at trans rights being a real big issue. And, you know, always looking down to the South and seeing what's happening there. But the way it also influences life in Canada too. So anyways, it's now that it's come out, it just seems much more relevant and timely.
Yeah, good timing. Canada's history, though, is not all rainbows and sunshine. It was pretty dark when it came to gay rights in this country. You explore that in this film.
Yeah, I mean, just as recently as the 1960s, you could get 8 years in prison or a mental institution for being gay, and that's around the time that the film picks up. And then it looks through various chapters at how these significant milestones occurred, how activists and community leaders got together to fight and challenge the state and challenge laws and authorities. And ultimately, what the film ended up becoming is kind of like a guidebook or a manual for the current generation, for people who are living here and now. If they wanted to fight for their rights again, if they had to fight because their rights were being taken away or challenged, they can look back at Parade, this documentary, and use it as a resource to figure out, like, you know, back in the 70s, how did all these, you know, riff-raff, pot-stirring activists get together and get into the streets and march and take back their rights?
Winnipeg is largely part of the storytelling here. Tell us a little bit about the Winnipeg connections in your documentary.
Well, for sure. I mean, I am a Winnipeg filmmaker, the film actually ends in Winnipeg at the Million March for Children, which happened a few years ago. I'm sure some of our viewers were there, and it was a sort of very divided rally, because on one side you had people who were protecting trans rights, and on the other side you had people who wanted to protect their children. And so it was a very almost violent confrontation on the legislative grounds, and that's sort of where we leave the story, sort of, you know, on this precipice of like what's going to happen next. So Winnipeg did the last scene, but also a very important part of the film for me is the story of Two-Spirit, which happened here in Manitoba. Characters like Myra Laramie, Albert McLeod, Connie Morasti, these are Indigenous queer activists who had a gathering in 1990 in Beausejour where the name Two-Spirit was adopted, and that really went international. Two-Spirit is a term for gay or lesbian, queer, Indigenous people, and it's used internationally, and it's a Manitoba contribution to global language, which I think is something we can be proud of.
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. Okay, so the premiere is happening on Saturday at the Canadian Museum for Human Rights, and there's it starts at 5. The viewing's at 6:30, and there's a party after.
Yeah, and there's going to be an exhibit that's open and free to the public. People can come ahead of time and check out Love in a Dangerous Time, which has a beautiful ballet film that we worked on as well. And then, yeah, afterwards it's going to be DJ Scott Fitzpatrick.
Oh, all right. Dance party indeed. Well, thank you, Noam, for sharing this with us, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Casting our eye to the sky, it's looking lovely to kick us off. 19 degrees under a mix of sun and cloud. Winds out of the south at 15 kilometers per hour. Pressures on the rise. Humidity at 67%. Lots of sunshine to look forward to, but maybe some instability in certain regions. You can start to see it getting much more pronounced here on our radar. This system here is bringing the likelihood of some showers. If not late afternoon in the northwest, it'll come overnight and kind of sprinkle all throughout the north. Meantime, for us here in the south, it's likely lots of sunshine with some increase in cloudiness into the afternoon. A high of 25 degrees with those winds out of the south at 20 kilometers per hour. Into tonight, rather. Temperatures dip to 14. Skies remaining partly cloudy and those winds persisting out of the south at 20 kilometers per hour. I'm so excited to get to tomorrow's forecast because look how stunning. 27 degrees with those mainly sunny skies. The winds will get stronger out of the southeast at 30 kilometers per hour. Got a little bit of everything on the way for the weekend. It's looking lovely on Saturday, 28 degrees, maybe a little bit more in the way of cloud coverage into the later afternoon. And then on Sunday, the mercury takes a bit of a dive to 22, not terrible. Well, we get some rainfall. I think we need it, so that's the good news. But we're back under the sunshine by Monday, and then we start to see that mercury really rise. 26 on Monday, 30 on Tuesday and Wednesday, both with clear sunny skies expected.
Thank you, Catherine. A teenage girl is in police custody after a woman was stabbed in Osborne Village. It happened Monday around midnight on Roslyn Road near Osborne Street. Police say the woman was attacked from behind, stabbed, and had her cell phone stolen. Bystanders intervened and the suspect ran off. The woman was taken to hospital in critical condition, but has since been upgraded to stable. A 17-year-old girl was arrested, but police believe there were others involved. Anyone with information is asked to give police a call. Winnipeg police have charged a man after a string of convenience store robberies during a 4-hour period early yesterday. Police say the robberies took place between 12:45 a.m. and 4:47 a.m. Wednesday. Robberies occurred on Lorette Avenue, Cavalier Drive, Ness Avenue, Academia Road, and Pembina Highway. A suspect was pulled over by police at around 5 a.m. in the 100 block of Kirkbridge Drive in Fort Garry. Ian Carlton Simpson is charged with 5 counts of robbery. No injuries were reported as a result of any of these incidents. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has just wrapped up a news conference about American strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities last weekend.
Let me read the bottom line here. President Trump directed the most complex and secretive military operation in history, and it was a resounding success, resulting in a ceasefire agreement and the end of the 12-day war.
He says the strikes were historically successful, citing several assessments, including from the CIA and UN's nuclear watchdog. Hegseth also attacked the media after a leaked intelligence report earlier this week suggested the strike's effects may have been limited. The update comes after Iran's supreme leader made his own address earlier this morning, saying those U.S. strikes failed to achieve anything significant. Some wild video to show you now of a surprise encounter with a moose. Calling it a Canadian safari, a Vancouver woman captured this up-close interaction with the animal while driving through Jasper National Park last week. And check out the reaction from her South African husband sitting in the passenger seat. If you've ever tried to tend to a garden, you know it can be a challenge. For some, just keeping the plants alive is a win. But there are some green thumbs in the city with gardens that have to be seen to believed. And soon, you will be able to check them out yourself. As CTV's Harrison Shin shows you, an upcoming event will give you a chance to tour some of Winnipeg's greatest gardens.
To make a garden like this come to life, you need more than just one person. For Esther Chen, it's a family affair and a way of life.
It's just a habit. I like flowers and plants, and gardening is very rewarding because they will come back year after year.
Her garden wasn't like this when she first bought the place. She basically had to start from scratch.
When we first bought this house, the backyard is only like pure grass. There's nothing gardening at all. No flower beds, no shrubs, nothing.
So she rolled up her sleeves and got to work. Her efforts included rescuing dying trees and shrubs from her customers' backyards, giving them another chance at life.
So lots of dying shrubs, if you're taking care of them, they can actually revive.
Now her hard work is being rewarded. Chen's garden was named as one of the 14 Gardens of Distinction by Nature Manitoba. Her garden will be shown to the public this upcoming Saturday for the organization's fundraising event.
They get to take pictures, they get to learn about plants they've never seen. There's a lot of times where the gardeners have got plants that you will never see in the garden centers.
Now, Master Gardener Tim Evans is looking for the next hidden gardening legends. Nature Manitoba plans to visit the northeast corner of Winnipeg for the next edition of the Gardens of Distinction. But for now, it's Chen's time to shine.
So it will be a good show. So I hope more people can come to see what I can do.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
That's beautiful. Here's a look now at what's happening on St. Mary's Road. Things appear to be moving quite well over here. No issues to tell you about. If you see any problems out there, please let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
And here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.38. The provincial average is lower at $1.32. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.31. The lowest price in the city is $1.24. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
Price at the pump brought to you by kidneycard.ca. Get a free tow and a tax receipt for value of your car.
Time now for your web comments on our question of the day. We wanted to know, what's your favorite thing you're growing in your garden right now? Jackie says tomatoes. I have 8 varieties, including Midnight Blacks, and the whole family loves them, even the dog. Jackie, thank you for your response. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at the Mennonite Heritage Village in Steinbach. It's a beautiful place to visit during the summer or any time of the year. Good morning.
Good morning. What a beautiful morning we've had. Rochelle standing on top of the windmill alongside the head miller here, Jerry Neufeld. Good morning, Jerry. Let's talk about how it all works. And what is it the only in Canada?
It's the only working wind-powered mill in Canada. And the way it works is we use the wind power to drive the gears and the stones and make flour.
What's the perfect conditions for it? Because you mentioned earlier today it might not have enough wind.
The wind velocity we need is usually between 25 and 40 kilometers per hour to do any milling.
And you need to make some adjustments. How does it work up top?
Well, the sails are adjusted by louvers, and when you close the louvers, you get more wind pressure. You can drive the mill faster and get more power inside.
Well, speaking of inside, let's do a bit of a tour. So I'm going to follow you. There's one piece of it that is just for, observation, just for looking and enjoyment. But this is actually functioning. So how does it work?
Yeah, this is the working side. We have a hopper here to bring the wheat upstairs, empty it into the hopper. You can see on the window here, we got it full and waiting for a good windy day to do some milling. From there, it's directed between the stones. And when the stones are turning, they draw the wheat between them, grind it up, and process the wheat. And it gets brushed to the hole at the back, down to the bagging station.
Thus making flour. How much flour can it produce?
With a good wind up to about 40 kilometers per hour, it can produce anywhere between 400 and 500 pounds per hour.
Wow, that's a lot. And then what happens next?
About 50% goes to the restaurant here on site, and they bake really good bread with it. And the other 50% gets packaged in 3-pound bags, and we sell it.
So in Canada here, you'd mentioned this is the only working one in this way, but that's not the case for other parts of the world.
The U.S. has a bunch of them. The Windmill company in the Netherlands is responsible for looking after a bunch of them. They've even built a brand new one there just last year.
And people are going to have questions, right? Especially the little ones, whether it be about other parts of the Heritage Village or coming here with you asking those same questions. So there is an opportunity coming up, Canada Day.
Canada is next week, and the millers will be here to demonstrate the windmill, talk about it, and if it's windy enough, we'll have it turning. And if it's really windy enough, we'll actually make some flour on that day.
You must always be watching the wind. Is that, as a miller, is that how you feel? You're just very cautious and observing that constantly?
Definitely. And we have a team of millers, and we participate together to get the job done.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I got to try the bread. What a great morning it's been here in Steinbach.
Such a beautiful place to visit. Thank you, Ainsley. Out on the rooftop now, Catherine, that sun is shining.
It is hot out here, Rochelle, honestly, and I run cold. So yes, the sun is shining. The clouds have cleared out nicely, and we're at 19 degrees currently. The winds are out of the south, pretty light and decently cool, so that's a nice kind of side effect. The barometric pressure is rising, and the humidity sits at 67%. Got a little bit of everything in store in the province over the next couple of days. In the north, potential for some rainfall starting in the northwest late afternoon, overnight tonight, and then fanning out through the north through the next couple of days. That's the good news. However, we are tracking some potentially severe weather coming to the southwest tomorrow. That could look like some thunderstorm activity. Likely we're not going to see that in Winnipeg. We're going to be dealing with sunshine today and tomorrow. Highs all across southern Manitoba into the mid-20 degree mark. So again, that severe weather could be coming more to the southwest, while we here in Winnipeg will likely deal with clear skies tomorrow and a high of 27. There is some rainfall on the horizon for us in the south. However, we got to get through Saturday first, which is looking picture perfect, 28 degrees with clear sunny skies. Sunday, though, temperatures take a bit of a dip. We're looking at a high of 22 when that rainfall comes, but the mercury is heating up in a big way by mid next week. We're looking at highs cracking the 30-degree mark. I'm going to go inside and cool down in the AC, but stay with us. We've got so much more CTV Morning Live just ahead.
CTV Morning Live Weather brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Good morning, it's 8:44. The Winnipeg Folk Festival is celebrating a milestone this summer, and we want you to have the whole experience. Folk Fest is 50 in 2025. As always, it will feature music, workshops, and a whole lot more. And you could be there to make memories of your own. We're giving away tickets for the entire weekend, plus quiet camping for you and 3 friends. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and tell us your favorite memory, whether it's from the first festival or the 49th, and maybe share a pic or 2. Good luck. The modern workplace is evolving. Many workers are feeling pessimistic and less interested in climbing the corporate ladder. ABC's Andrew Dimbert explains.
This morning, new data shows the traditional 9 to 5 may be headed for retirement. Sorry, Dolly. A new report shows more than half of American workers now believe the idea of a stable, full-time job is a myth, including 72% of Gen Z workers.
I don't like my job, and I don't think I'm going to go anymore.
More than 40% of those polled say they now have side hustles or second jobs to meet their financial needs. And while moving up the corporate ladder helps pay the bills, fewer workers these days are interested in taking leadership roles. More than 3/4 of workers surveyed now say burnout and office politics make upper management undesirable. Behind those numbers is a bigger problem.
What we really identify was a trio of negative trends. First was pessimism, the idea about how do people feel about their money situation, their job situation, about the country.
That kind of pessimism has consequences.
Those three trends really manifest not just as the cranky coworker who might be mouthing off, but they have real business impacts.
Researchers found pessimism on the job is linked to a 60% drop in productivity.
Doubles the risk of burnout. It more than doubles the risk of generalized anxiety disorder. It almost doubles the risk of productivity impairment.
And while that lack of interest in getting ahead at the office is not limited to one type of worker, it's younger employees feeling it the most.
Over 60% of workers 18 to 29 showed the highest level of disconnects.
Artificial intelligence is another factor, with predictions that AI could replace low-level, white-collar jobs, putting the corporate ladder out of reach for more people. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
It's like a Pavlovian response. Shahir Massoud shows up and I start salivating. But Shahir, it's because you cook such delicious meals.
Hey.
Mostly on the other side of the screen, and I never actually get to try them.
I can vouch for them. They are all delicious, I promise.
Okay, so I'm excited because we're into summertime now. You've been like grilling up a storm the last time that we had you on. What did you make for us? I don't even remember now. But oh, it was that salad. It was that salad, which we can find on the website. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. What are we making today?
And now Turkey Month in Manitoba continues. June is Turkey Month. So I've taken one of my favorite sandwiches, a classic turkey club sandwich, made it into a burger. So watch this. I've got my Butterball from frozen turkey burgers. Easy. Take them right out of the freezer onto your grill. 7 to 9 minutes per side. That's it. And then you could top it with your favorite cheese. Usually I go with cheddar, but for this club, oh man, it smells so good. You hear the sizzling?
Oh.
For this club, I'm going Havarti. Oh man.
My favorite.
And you know what?
Yes.
These burgers, I've used them for years, Terry. They're a blank canvas. So you could do a turkey club burger. You could do a classic kind of cheeseburger, but you're getting all the flavor, way less of the fat, 25 grams of protein in each, which I love.
You gotta love that. Now, let me just ask you this quickly because it's a lean burger, I know. Is it gonna stick to your grill? Do you need a little bit of oil on there?
Any burger on any grill, you should pre-grease your grill.
Okay.
So that it doesn't stick. That's a great tip just in general.
Okay.
So I always kind of spritz my grill. Absolutely, because they are quite lean, which is great. But they've got tons of flavor. And again, they're going to carry all these different flavors. Speaking of which, I'm making a little ranch-style aioli. So I've got some mayo, some sour cream, garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, and black pepper. That's it. And that's going to give us kind of this ranch-style aioli. You can add some garlic, the secret sauce, if you will. But a turkey club also must have bacon. I'm trying to cut back on the fat throughout the whole recipe. So I'm going with turkey bacon. Now, we talked about this one before, how much I adore it, because it's our Butterball Applewood smoked turkey bacon. So you do get the flavor of that Applewood smokiness without all the fat. And whenever I show people this bacon, they kind of, they're taken aback because it really does look like a crispy.
That looks good.
Delicious piece of bacon.
I like my bacon to stand up. That's exactly perfect.
And there you go. Exactly. You
just
see?
Standing up.
Your bacon should stand to attention. I agree. So you get that crispiness, you get that kind of Applewood smoked flavor. Now let's assemble. My burgers and the cheese are all melting. I will provide a recipe for the best potato bun.
Terry,
I know you and I love you. I know you. I'm not asking you to make these from scratch. You could just get your favorite bun. But I am over the top, you know. I want to provide that recipe. A little bit of that ranch-style sauce on each side, and then we assemble.
Okay, assemble quickly here. What do we got?
Shredded lettuce, tomato, thinly sliced, the burger with that melted Havarti.
Perfect.
None of the guilt, the bacon, the hat.
Oh, I mean, my goodness. It does. I mean, it's extra, just like you, but it does look delicious.
It's extra, but it's turkey month. We're going to put the recipe up on butterball.ca, Terry.
I'll check it out. Thanks so much, Shahir.
Good to see you.
Think Turkey is brought to you by Manitoba Turkey Producers and Butterball. Meal ideas online.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say
Rochelle.
it's going to be a good day to barbecue. I might just do that.
Just going to say my tummy is rumbling
me
just
too.
watching
I'm
that.
Starving now.
But yes, to your point, beautiful barbecuing weather for us here in southern Manitoba. Not the case for the entire province. But as you can see, 19 degrees as we kick off the day. Mix of sun and cloud. Winds out of the south. Barometric pressure is rising. Humidity sits at 67%. So yes, lots of sunshine on the way for us, but a system could be bringing some rainfall to parts of northern Manitoba later on this afternoon, likely overnight. You can see the smattering there. However, there is also a chance of some very warm temperatures associated with it. Not what we want for that wildfire fight. To the tune of 25 degrees in Thompson, 23 in Gillam, 25 in Churchill. Very warm at Island Lake at 26 degrees. This is the region I mentioned that is likely to get the rainfall first. Maybe some instability with that thunderstorm activity. Not ideal. 26 degrees in Opaskwayak Cree Nation in the Paw, 25 in Flin Flon, 20 Inland Lake. Southwestern Manitoba, I did tease that there could be some extreme, some severe weather, coming your way tomorrow in the form of some thunderstorms. Today will be the calm before the potential storm. A mix of sun and cloud across the board. 23 degrees in Brandon, 26 in Dauphin. For us here, clear skies to kick off the day, more cloud coverage into the afternoon. Southerly winds at 20 kilometers per hour, highs into the mid-20s. Northwestern Ontario, a little bit warmer than what we're seeing here with that mix of sun and cloud. Overnight, temperatures dipping down to 14 degrees here in Winnipeg with those southerly winds persisting and some partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, lovely, a high of 27 degrees under those clear skies, getting even hotter on Saturday with a mix of sun and cloud. And then Sunday, not the day to grill, 22 with a likelihood of some rainfall, but we recover nicely into next week with a high of 26 and the sunshine. We're going to take a break here on CTV Morning Live, but your videos of the day just ahead.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
All right, let's wrap up this Thursday show with some fun video. If you need a hand cleaning, this kitty is here to help. Oh yeah, he's helpful. He's actually making more of a mess. This clever cat has figured out how to climb onto the dresser, open the drawer, and throw things out. Wonder what he's looking for.
This cat has read Marie Kondo. It's like nothing here sparks joy. Throw it all away.
Yes. Just on the floor, that's where it goes. Well, it's pool time for the cutest couple on this farm. Check this out. Marshmallow the duck has a huge crush on Waffles the Highland cow. She's trying to quack the big bovine up with her head bobs and kisses. He's moved by her love, and we think it's utterly adorable. There he is.
He's like, whatever, it's fine. More work to swat her away, yeah.
And lastly, what a difference a bath makes. Chico is enjoying a spa day. Watch her go from looking like a drowned rat to a fluffy sheep after a blow dry and a trim. That's a peppered pooch. What a cute little face.
So funny.
It's just a fluff ball of love.
That is the fun. The ears are like completely bald with the rest. Sorry. Chico.
Oh, we love it. We love it. That does it for us. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.